Guys, what's going on? Oh, yeah, had a little update I had to do on the computer, but here I am, guys. Here I am. Guys, hold on. Let me show you something first, guys. Hold on. Um, Hold on. So guys, just you guys see Don Lesbian was out on the street trying to interview people about Orange Man in crime, and it didn't quite go the way he thought it was gonna go. Keyshawn, what's up, dude? He says, "Do men need women? Hell no." Yeah, yep. Here you go, guys. Drop the link for Discord members first. So anyone, Discord guys, go there. You know, join the panel early. We'll do the first 45 minutes for Discord members only, and then we'll probably open it up a little bit later on, guys. I will have a daytime live tomorrow, guys. I forget the topic. I think it was going to be yeah, I'll let you guys know the topic, but yeah, guys, I like Andrew Wilson. He's actually my favorite person to watch right now, other than that talk highlight thoughts guy. But guys, remember, Andrew Wilson is not a red pill guy. You know, we agree on a lot of topics, but he's not a red pill guy per se. So, yeah, DTM facts. Yep. If we say that we don't need them, we will get canceled. Facts. Laughing man, what's up, dude? He says, "What's going on with everyone?" Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yep. That's true, my friend. Good to see you. Snowboard. I see you, pal. Okay, Rajai, what's up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, man. Red Door's here. Sterling's here. Who else is here? Tim Hicks is here. Steve is here. Who else is here? Good. Captain Palsy's here. Josh is here. Dr. Gonzo's here. Freaky Kikistan, what's up, man? How you been? So, guys, look. So, Snowboard, hey, man, did you see this? The Don Lesbian was out trying to do news interviews, right? About Orange Man sending in the troops, and it didn't go quite the way he thought. Watch.
What if you die?
Before you get on the bus, should the president send armed troops here?
Yeah, I think it would be a good deal.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. What about you? Should the president send armed troops here? Armed troops here?
Yeah.
You think so? Thank you.
Our murder rate ain't that bad. It's down.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessary.
Before you get on the bus, should the president send armed troops here?
Watch. Where's hold on. I think it was Sky News Australia.
Is this a new segment of the show he called Don Lemon Smell My Finger?
Oh, there was a thing where I think it was Sky News Australia did a thing, and it was showing him getting owned. Hold on. I was watching it earlier today, and of course I won't be able to find it, but damn.
Is it that Indian type lady making fun of him?
Sky News Australia.
They have some good stuff now and then.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find it, guys. Hold on.
And these people said what they wanted without any hesitation or anything, and they just went about their business, which is beautiful.
Yep. Let me do one more thing to try and find it, because I just watched it earlier today. And then this one guy, Don Lemon, tries to interview him. He's like, "I know you. You're full of shit."
Yeah, Don Lemon sucks.
Oh, good old Don Lesbian, right? What an idiot, dude. Damn, where is this? Guys, give me like 1 second to try and look and look for this because I know
Anderson Cooper is much like
Here it
he's
is.
still Anderson Cooper's a Vanderbilt.
But I mean, dude, he friggin' he takes it in Le
Cooper,
Poubelle.
each
I
of
mean,
them do.
let's
Yeah,
be
I know.
honest. I mean,
I know. I'm saying I don't like either of
That's
them. But you
that.
know
I mean,
who's
come
the
on.
biggest demon in CNN is Brian Stelter. Brian
Is
Stelter.
that the
I'm
guy with the
telling you.
bald head?
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
Well, I can't
That
stand
guy
him.
like eats children. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with him.
But just in general, his whole look and his whole everything, it's like, dude.
Get it together.
If this was even like the 1910s or 20s, you are an out of shape, loudmouth dunderhead. If
Dude,
this was the 1910, think of this snowboard. If this was rural Alaska, rural Canada, rural Northwest, rural Wyoming in like 1910, guys, we'd have had to take him out back and deal with him because he's not pulling his own weight and he would be holding the community back. He would only be using community resources. So
yeah,
we'd have
he's the
if
worst.
we were Aleut Indians, we'd have to put him on a piece of ice floe and let him float out into the middle of the ocean. I'm dead ass, you know? He talks
and you
so
know
much
he's
trash.
like kind of young. He's younger than you think he is too.
Is he?
Like whatever age you think he is.
The
Yeah, he's like a
bald guy,
decade
right?
younger. Yeah.
What's his
Yeah. The
name?
bald guy, the fat bald guy, Brian Stelter. Brian Stelter.
Stelter.
I think he even got
this
fired
guy.
maybe, but he was
Hold on.
high up. I'm telling you, this guy, it's gonna come out that he
This
like
guy.
eats children or something. Yeah.
Guys,
So
look
see
at
how
this
old he
guy.
is, but I'm telling you, he's younger than
He
you
looks like a
think.
comic
Yeah,
book
dude, you
villain,
can't tell
right?
me
Doesn't
that's
he?
not an evil guy. That's him.
Like-
Yeah.
Dude, if you're this bald, just shave your head, bro. Shave your head and grow a beard. And guys, you can't be bald and fat and ugly.
And short. And gay too. He like wears like a man purse, dude. I'm
guys,
telling you, this guy's terrible.
This guy right here is the ultimate example of how we have of how we've gone away from talk shit, get hit. You know what I'm saying? Because seriously, the only reason why this guy could have got to where he's got is because there's no more bullying in society. Anthony Williams said somehow that got on TV. Yeah, facts. Yep. Sid, what's
For a
up,
while.
man? Adam, what's up, man? Yeah, and guys, here's the thing. And guys, I need you to hear me. Okay? Let me pump the brakes. Okay? Guys. Everyone, especially all you men and young men, please listen to me. Listen to me. If you have to wear a suit to work, be in shape. Never be a fat guy in a suit. Ever. You look so ridiculous. Fat guys wearing suits just look so ridiculous, man. You know? Because, guys, all you have to do is be in decent shape to look good in a suit. Look at this guy right here. Look at that, guys. Man.
Dude, I'm telling you, in these pictures, he's younger than you think.
How old is he? Let me look and see. Hold on. Brian Stelter? He's 40 years old.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. When he's 32, he looks like he's like 50.
What? Are you serious?
And that's with makeup and everything and the best lighting you can have, dude. I'm telling you, this guy is a demon.
What are you talking about? Guys, he should be ashamed
That's
of
what
himself.
I'm saying. You think you know his age, and it's a decade younger.
Jesus, look at that. So anyways, guys, here we go.
Like, look at that picture in the middle. He's 40 in that middle picture.
Yeah. Look at that.
That's like someone who's like 52 years old.
Guys, you have got to be in the best shape as possible. Guys, no one's asking you to be friggin' an Olympic athlete. All right? But guys, please, please, please. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for your friends, do it for your family. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I always say the best way to lose weight, guys, learn how to fight. Kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, judo. Then it's 2 birds with 1 stone because you learn how to fight and you're getting in shape. You know what I'm saying? So, but guys, here we go. Watch.
Losing it. Now imagine you are in the great outdoors, enjoying the fresh air, enjoying the scenery, taking your dogs for a walk when this happens.
Wait,
that has upset the like. Have a look. Weeks later.
Where's the Don lesbian part?
Maybe this is
The lowest point.
Hold on, guys. Sorry. Dang it. But yeah, they did a thing on Don lesbians while walking around asking people about crime. And dude's like, "You're full of crap, dude. I know who you are." Well, here it is.
Time for lefties are losing it, and I regret to inform you that the weapon grade crazy is extra toxic this week because 2 deranged individuals have come together to put his foot in online content.
Guys,
Don Lemon here.
Get ready for the cringe, guys.
He is with Democrat beta boy Harry Sisson, and they're coming to save democracy.
Jesus Christ on the cross, dude. What is going on, dude? Have you ever seen that much soy in one place at one time? Look at that, guys. Look at
Beta male.
Oops.
Put in it with Democrat Sarah McBride, who is a man who identifies as a woman.
This is my car. I'm heading back to Delaware.
It is, dude. Do you have a Hemi in here? What is it?
This is a beautiful Chevy Equinox, American made.
We got a whole closet back there.
Dude, that's a misgender if I ever heard one. Straight to re-education camp for you, Don. And sticking with Don, he is out there trying to save democracy.
Thornton, what's up, dude? Tara, what's up, dude? Good to see you.
You see, he calls it trying to whip up fear about Trump's law and order crackdown.
Here we go.
But here a Maryland woman explains what happened to her family because of the lawlessness that's happening in big cities.
My husband was murdered 2 years ago, and nothing was ever done.
Look at that.
Murder where? At home?
Right out in front of her house.
Sorry.
It was a carjacking gone wrong, and they shot him in his head. Killed him instantly. So, but again, our lovely mayor didn't do nothing.
Did they ever find the perpetrator?
Of course not. But I thought that there was no crime in the DMV area, right, guys? Oh, no. I thought Orange Man's totally wrong, right? Please.
So you want to see it?
Yes, I want justice.
You want justice, and you would like to see the troops here in the national.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Poor Don is not having much luck on the street. Here he is in New York City.
How you doing, sir? Can we talk to you? Where are you from? You live in New York?
Who are you?
Don Lemon.
You're a moron, dude. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, nice to
You're a moron.
Except you've never heard anything I've had to say, and I've heard a whole bunch of what you.
I'm glad you watched me.
No, I don't.
Why?
You just get clipped everywhere.
I know, but why don't you? You said you don't watch me, but yet you know who I am, and I get clipped.
Before I realized that CNN and MSNBC were full of shit, every once in a while I'd.
What do you watch?
I watch all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but why do you say CNN and MSNBC are full of shit?
Because they lie.
But about what? Be
Everything.
specific. What's everything?
Everything.
Now, Donald Trump was back in New York.
Good old Don lesbian. Things didn't go his way. Now, guys, I want to break some news here. So, guys, here's the intro. It's a little loud. Now, guys, I don't know. Snowboard, did you see the thing going on in Charlotte right now?
Your voice.
No.
Oh, you guys didn't see this? Look at this, guys. Guys, put a 1 if you saw what was going on in Charlotte, guys.
I have no idea.
Look at this, guys. I can't show the actual event.
Oh, okay, okay. I have seen this. Yes.
It's so bad, dude. But like,
Yeah, the
do you
Ukrainian.
remember
Now
how I
to a
showed you
disturbing crime.
the chick who got punched in the face in Chicago?
Yeah.
This is the same thing. Dude had been
Yeah.
arrested like 14 times, and the stupid DA and the stupid judge kept letting him out over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? JD
Yeah,
was.
I did actually see this.
Look
A
at this.
commuter train in. Now to a disturbing crime on a commuter train in North Carolina, where a young woman was murdered by a stranger. ABC's Perry Russum has more on how it's putting a spotlight on the judicial system, as well as how we handle mental illness.
Authorities in North Carolina have released surveillance video of the unprovoked murder of a woman on a Charlotte commuter train.
There needs to be change.
We are not showing the.
Well, who did you vote for? You dumb. You know, guys. This is why I always say these women vote for these progressive policies, defund the police, and all this other stuff. Because us men will be fine because we're always the number one victims of violent crime. But anytime that there's a spike in crime, like say when you let millions of illegals in, or you let criminals not get arrested or go to jail, the spike in crime affects women first.
Attack. But moments after this video was taken, 23-year-old Irina Zarutska took a seat in front of the man on the right in the red hoodie and began scrolling on her phone. After a few minutes, police say the man identified as 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown took out a pocket knife, stood up, and stabbed Zarutska several times. Passengers rushed to help her, but it was too late.
Very alarming as a woman who rides solo. People have harassed other people. You can tell that they're probably not mentally well.
Brown was arrested after stepping off the train and faces first-degree murder charges. He has more than a dozen convictions dating back to 2014. His own mother says this tragedy.
So over a decade.
She says after he served 5 years in prison for armed robbery, Brown began to behave strangely. She says she got an involuntary commitment order and he was placed under psychiatric monitoring, diagnosed with schizophrenia. But she says he got so aggressive, she had to kick him out of her house.
Hey, Snowboard, or anyone in the chat, why aren't there large amount of mental institutions in the United States right now?
Because liberals got rid of them in like the 1970s.
In the 1980s, during Reagan's era.
1980s, yeah.
Yep, because of the Democrats, dude. They got rid of them.
And I almost guarantee you part of what triggered, quote, his schizophrenia, he's smoking mad weed. This guy's smoking weed and out of his goddamn mind.
Not just weed. He was
weed
probably
triggers
smoking
stuff like that. Weed will make you violent. People don't want to admit that, but it can.
But the worst part about this is they have that synthetic cannabis.
Yes, yeah.
Which is 10 times worse, right?
Yeah.
Guys, you got to smoke a lot of pot to actually get violent. But the reason why synthetic cannabinoids are so bad for you is because I think there's like 30 or 40 cannabinoid receivers in your brain. THC that comes from natural weed only activates like 15 of them.
Like 12,
Synthetic does all of them at once.
Yep.
So you go out of your mind. Yeah.
You know who was one of the first people who pushed for this type of weed? It was in Arizona. It's George Soros.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, he was one of the people who started to lobby this weed. Like they tried it in like Arizona, and then California did it, and like this just for medicine, guys. That used to be kind of somewhat regular weed. Now it's like weed with like crack in it that makes you like have like a schizophrenic episode a little
here's
bit.
Here's the thing. If you buy weed from a state regulated dispensary, it still is just marijuana, but marijuana is a lot more potent due to like how they can grow it and stuff now. But the reason why kids are getting it laced with stuff now is in states where it's illegal, and these dealers will say, well, I can, in the same way that they would cut, heroin with fentanyl, because fentanyl's cheap, but heroin isn't. So they can make more money out of less heroin, right? They do the same thing with weed. They'll say, oh, well, this is small amount of weed and they'll put this much fentanyl in it, and then it's like, oh, this gets me jacked up, bro. I'm gonna go back to the snowboarder, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And then they have this
know,
stuff called K2, which is also dangerous.
Yeah, people think lacing weed is funny. It's not funny.
It's not.
Put a 1 in the chat if you know someone back in college or back in the military who thought that they were buying just weed and it was soaked in friggin' PCP or something.
It's happened to me.
Yeah, a friend of mine in college, he had PCP. It was angel dust. If you were like, that's funny, right?
Yeah.
It's not funny. It was crazy. I remember he called me. He was having a panic attack. He's all over the place. So it's not funny.
And then AJ looks at him like training day. He's like, I didn't know you like to get wet though. Like,
I mean, guys, look. I see why someone would think it's funny, obviously, but guys, it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, and the reason why people do K2 and spice is because a lot of times workplaces and parole offices don't test for it, and you can just buy it over the counter. That's like that kratom stuff.
Yeah,
you can just buy kratom. People are getting addicted to kratom. And guys, I'm not trying to say he's mentally ill or on drugs. He's a nug piece of trash, and they should lock him under the jail.
Earlier this year, he called 911, making what police describe as paranoid claims. A judge ordered a competency evaluation, but he remained a free man. The case highlighting challenges in the judicial system when it comes to mental health. A retired judge saying resources are spread too thin. As for Zarutska, her family says she was a talented young artist who had come to the U.S. to flee the war in her home country of Ukraine. Charlotte's mayor is pushing for more investment in mental health resources.
And this mayor's trying to get reelected too. Hold on. Oh yeah. And guys, did you notice? Well, here's a judge.
Infuriating, it's heartbreaking.
Did you notice that this didn't make it to the news until it went viral on social media? Guys, put a 1 if you notice that. Okay.
Well, a lot of times when it's a individual maybe named Muhammad or a black dude, they rarely kind of hide the person's identity. Some of the time,
anyone except a white dude.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's a white guy, if it's a straight sister,
they love it.
Guy,
yeah.
Then they will put his
they
face
love
out
it.
fast.
Yeah.
They don't even need to know his name. They'll make up a name. His name is John Smith. They'll make up a name.
His name is your next door neighbor.
Seriously.
It makes us. It gives you a feeling in the pit.
Equilibrium of the video where this chick got stabbed. No, I watched the video on Twitter. There was nothing fake about this, dude. He got her he's popped her in the chest 4 times. And guys, he got her in the upper chest. And what people don't understand, guys, this isn't like in a movie where you get stabbed. There's no, dude. I've put a 1 if you've seen someone get stabbed, guys. I've seen someone get stabbed. It's just pop, 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 pop. Oftentimes, people don't even realize, especially in a fight. Guys, I was in not a bar fight. It was a house party fight, right? And we're blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, I saw this guy. I thought he was punching the guy. He's boom, 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 boom. And then the guy runs, and all of us run because the cops came. And all of a sudden, we're in the bushes to hide him from the cops. And this guy was on the front lawn. He got stabbed 5 times. He didn't even realize it. You know? Guys,
wow.
Anyone who knows that violence is nothing like the movies. I've seen guys get hit once. People act like Bruce Willis or Arnold Schwarzenegger gets punched full bore and gets up. You get punched full on, sucker punched or punched. A lot of times you aren't getting up. I've seen guys get hit their head on the ground, not move. I saw a guy. We were in a bar at University of Oregon, and we got in a fight with these frat boys. they ended up losing, right? But anyways, so one of the guys I was with was the kicker for the U of O football team. And my friend Joel goes, bop, and he hits this dude in the stomach, and the dude drops on all fours, and he goes reaching for something, and the kicker just goes, bam, and runs and punts the guy's head, just pow! And the guy flops back, and he just starts like twitching. And we all, I don't know if he lived or not. We ran, you know? But guys, when he was went pop, 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 he just got her right in the chest, and then he walked off. It was crazy. So
Your stomach.
First today at noon, as Charlotte City leaders roll out new security changes on the light rail, the deadly Blue Line stabbing has lawmakers and federal government officials full attention in the nation's capital. House Speaker Mike Johnson is the latest lawmaker to weigh in on last month's deadly stabbing. He spoke during a news conference this morning, saying the suspect accused of killing a woman on the Blue Line shouldn't have been free in the first place.
You think?
Now, the U.S. Justice and Transportation Department are stepping in. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy confirms he is launching an investigation into the deadly incident. Duffy said online, repeated instances of violence may result in the federal government withholding funds from public transit systems. A statement from the White House called it a, quote, shocking act of evil. The Trump administration blamed.
Guys, make sure to hit the like button on the way in. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Democratic lawmakers and judges, Governor Josh Stein and former Governor Roy Cooper. Queen City News asked White House officials if Trump plans to order National Guard troops to Charlotte, and we did not get an answer. Instead, they directed us to the president's prior statements.
I just give my love and hope to the family of the young woman who was stabbed this morning or last night in Charlotte by a madman, a lunatic. Just got up and started. It's right on the tape. Not really watchable because it's so horrible, but just viciously stabbed. She's just sitting there. So they're evil people. We have to be able to handle that. If we don't handle that, we don't have a country.
North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis posted to social media, also placing blame on the justice system in Mecklenburg County. He says, quote, in Charlotte and other cities across our country, communities have seen the tragic consequences when weak on crime judges and prosecutors fail to hold violent repeat offenders accountable. The horrific murder of...
Hey guys, didn't we just see the Oakland mayor and district attorney get recalled for this crap? Right? Clown world. Guys, here, this is about the
that's basically how Kamala Harris got her bones. Like basically doing what they're doing.
Yep. Where is it? That and pretty much blowing taking everybody that.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Your voice, your vote. It is primary election day in Charlotte, and the polls are open for 2 more hours. Voters are making their picks for various city council seats as well as the mayor. Now, Channel 9's government reporter Joe Bruno is joining us live at a North Charlotte polling location. Joe, all this comes as the response to the recent light rail stabbing might be top of mind for many voters.
And this has been one of Mayor Viles' most controversial years of her tenure, not just that fatal light rail stabbing, but also the Bank of America stadium renovation project, as well as the secret settlement with CMPD Chief Johnny Jen.
Guys, you want to guess what this dunderheaded mayor looks like?
A B-dub. But I want to say the one word they said wrong was tenure.
Yeah.
That she, like... We can't have people in these positions for that long. They need to be same thing with Congress and everything else.
Well, hold on. I would argue that a mayor or city council, as long as they're elected,
yes,
I don't see a problem. If the people want that person there, there's no issue. See, local politics aren't the same as like these senators and these Congress people where they can consolidate power as much. How many mayors and district attorneys have we seen recalled in the last like 6-7 years? People are not having it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that a lot of the mayors mayors can do a lot of damage, but they can't dig
They're
their
more
heels
power in a
in
state of emergency.
the same way that a senator can. So
You know who you can thank. You know who you can thank for the reason why these senators are able to sit up there and build their little fiefdoms.
Oh yeah,
women.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were the ones that drove the amendment that called for the direct election of senators. That's the 17th Amendment. So before the 17th Amendment was passed, senators were chosen by the state legislatures, and they were still constitutionally prescribed as having a 6-year term. But if a state legislature flipped and they didn't want that senator representing the state anymore, they would yank that senator and they would appoint a new senator.
Yeah.
So that's what is a little bit how the amendment process of the Constitution backfires.
King Raymond, last year I did like a whole series of videos on Tiffany Henyard, moron. You know what I'm saying? But guys, she was the mayor, and she was doing so much damage in such a small amount of time that it was okay.
I saw her stuff, and she's claiming it's all racist.
Yeah. Well, but the thing about Tiffany Henyard was she was blatantly abusing her power and running the city into the ground. It takes time to get the mayor out, and most people aren't doing so much bad stuff in such a short amount of time that the regular legal time seem like too long. You know what I'm saying? Never, ever have, guys. I can't think of one politician. And guys, the Democrats have a lot of lying, cheating snakes. Guys, you know what? Here,
Lori Lightfoot.
No.
Crazy.
You think Lori Lightfoot was worse than Tiffany Henyard?
I don't know much about her. I do know a good amount about Lori Lightfoot. I kind of actually like Lori Lightfoot in a strange way.
Guys, in the chat, can you name any politician worse than Tiffany Henyard? I honestly can't. I think that Tiffany Henyard was the worst because she was a ghetto B dub, and she's obviously a sociopath because she can sit in front of all those people screaming and yelling and acting stupid every day when all of the evidence was out there that she was spending money, emptying out bank accounts, doing favors, shutting down her opponents. Guys, I can't think of any worse politician. Let me know, guys. That's a good question. Yeah. Cord, can you think of anyone worse than?
Not off the top of my head. Another politician I wanted to point out is, do you know how Schwarzenegger was elected governor of California?
Governor of California.
Governor. Do you know how that happened?
Because he married into the Kennedy family.
No. Oh my God. Recalled. What's his name?
There you go. They recalled Gray Davis. He led the effort. He got looped into it. But they recalled California Governor Gray Davis because the people of California were sick and tired of their if I remember right, it was their property taxes kept going up, and that's why people are now livid that in California people can just sit on a property for years and the income and the property taxes won't increase.
Guys, here's the thing about Obama, Tim Walz, new scum. Whoa, Michelle. At least they still try and hide the fact that they're scumbags.
Yeah,
Tiffany Henyard, guys, the super mayor, she was all out in the open with just being a corrupt scumbag and still making TV appearances and just she was completely delusional. I'm saying, guys, matter of fact, let's have a live stream, guys. Sunday's live. We're going to talk about who's the worst politician, the worst politician of the last 10 years you can think of, because all this stuff with like here, I at least think that like AOC and all these dunderheads, they might be delusional, and stupid, but I still think that they're dumb enough to actually think that what they think they're doing is the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tiffany Henyard had no bone about that. She was a grift from the jump, you know? And Pelosi, at least we have evidence, but like there's no hard evidence like Tiffany Henyard that she's a scumbag, you know? I mean, yes, what I mean, guys, is everything Henyard did was out in the open at one point. So
All voters will decide whether Mayor Vi Lyles deserves a 5th nomination.
To finish some of the things that I think are most important for this community, the transportation bills.
Charlotte's transit future is why Mayor Vi Lyles is seeking a 5th term. Charlotte's current state of transit threatens to derail that chance, as critics make a pointed and public stand weeks after the fatal stabbing of Irina Zarutska. Former congressional candidate Brendan McGinnis has been the most outspoken about her leadership.
It is inept, and I'm sorry if people take offense, but it is, and it needs to be called out that way. She's not doing the job, and it's unfortunate that it takes a tragedy like this for us to point this out.
That assessment is shared by Gemini Boyd, an activist who says Mayor Lyles has lost touch with the community.
The city government in the city of Charlotte.
guys, this is politics. This is when all of your opponents dive on you. She's trash. She's nothing. She's trash. I told y'all she was trash. Her mama said she's trash. And she doesn't wash her hands after she uses the bathroom.
Have failed us once again. And it has failed us because of poor leadership.
Banker Delter Ginn says the blame for this is squarely placed on those who are in leadership, from the bench to state legislators and everyone in between.
This guy has to be friggin' light in the shoes, right, guys? This guy, he has to be all marshmallows, right? Look at this guy. You know what I mean? Look.
Who did not hold him accountable and are too soft on crime. Activist Tigress Sidney Acute McDaniel lays the blame mostly at
Sidney Acute what?
The court, saying the Mecklenburg County Judicial District and the state of North
Tigress Sidney
Acute McDaniel. What the heck kind of name is that?
Somebody randomly opened pages in a thesaurus.
Yeah, Jesus.
And her dad's name is I do not like green eggs and ham.
No. That's
Carolina
Obtuse McDaniel.
Judicial branch, by and large, is Charlotte's primary problem when it comes to crime and public safety. I stand with victims and their families and Charlotteans at large and demand.
That is a line of crap. I
Whoever
stand
wins the
with
Democratic
anytime
nominations,
someone says I stand with anything.
Yeah.
It's just what does that even mean?
Yep.
So she's actually like capitalizing on this woman's death to say like I'm standing with her. Like no, what does that even mean?
Yep.
Same thing when they say our thoughts and prayers. Half of these people don't believe in a God or anything, so you're not praying for them. You just don't say that you are.
Yep. So guys, let's get to the topic here. And guys, we have a video, but hold on, let's do this. Let's do this here. Hold on. There we go. Guys, make sure to drop a like on the stream. Hold on, guys.
My date home.
Men need.
I was actually once driving my date home, and she said to me, I don't need a man. I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. I said, so get the out the car and hitchhike. Turned out she got kidnapped. And that's a great example of why women.
That story escalated very quickly.
In a sense, because I don't know, like they need our love. You know what I mean?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
with nothing to offer. I don't know. What do you bring to the table? These are the types of women that will ask you the question, what do you bring to the table? Because they think they're God's gift to earth. Like everything they walk on revolves around them. They literally star, direct, produce their own show in their own little head.
Men need women require adoration, and this is often called the adoration-admiration dichotomy.
Guys, even lesbians like adoration and validation from straight men. I have to find this study, guys, but all women, including lesbians, right, like attention from an attractive, competent, successful male. If you're a top 10%, 20%, 30% dude, right, you could walk up to the biggest, butchest, Rosie O'Donnell chick and say, how are you? You look nice today. And she will blush. Isn't that crazy?
Adoration means, baby, you're everything. I would literally take a for you. You're so wonderful. You're so beautiful. And from the evolutionary biology would suggest you need somebody who's going to be protective, way beyond what reason would suggest. You're insane for that particular person. Whereas men need admiration, which is basically, that is the largest gazelle I've ever seen that you just dragged into the cave.
Here's the thing, guys. You can get adoration from the community.
Why do men
and from guys? Okay. Now, guys, here. This is the last one that I'll show you, and then there's actually a video where Andrew Wilson's debating this redheaded doofus on this topic. But guys, can we come to an understanding? Guys, drop a 1. And you know what? Panel first. Guys, we can admit and come to an agreement that women need men. Without men, women would die. Guys, put a 1 if you agree. Right? And guys, I'm gonna start guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the super chat button. Appreciate that. Let's see. Let's do this. I'm gonna start a poll, guys. Let's do this. Let's start a poll. Let's see. Do men need women? Yes or no? No. There we go. So guys fill out the poll, right? Yeah. So Korg, snowboard. Can we agree that women need men?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm talking like need men, like
yeah.
Just
to
survive.
Yeah, just
not in the
One word,
abstract
truck
sense.
driver.
Huh?
One word, truck driver, logistics and stuff like that. They could never do that. They think they can, but just getting goods delivered is all men.
But see,
but
you're already B, C, D, F, G. I'm talking about A here. Okay.
Just basic survival.
No, basic survival and basic enforcements of their rights in order to live the life that they live right now. Because there's men, even in America, there's maybe Muslim men, there's Mormon fundamentalists, there's people who would rather, guys, we joke about women not having rights. We joke about it, you know what I'm saying? But we're at least all right with women having some rights. So the 19th could probably go. But hey, women should be able to leave the house, have a job, right? There's men in our country alone who would prefer that this country look like Afghanistan. And if all of us men who didn't believe that disappeared, guys, what would you think would happen?
It would go just be living like how they are. They'd be getting stoned to death. And
thank you very much. Women need us men to protect them from bad men, to protect them from men who want to take their actual rights away, not the rights to a baby deletion. Yeah, Mirror Flower Moon says Dark Ages facts. And this is the thing about the whatever podcast and all this. Andrew Wilson, he makes a lot of great points about there's large swathes of the world where women's rights have been taken away and there's nothing that they can do about it. And yet they still think about this in the abstract. Guys, this just happened in Afghanistan, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's going on right now. Guys, women are second-class citizens on like half the globe, on the other side of the globe. Everywhere from Morocco to most parts of Africa, all the way to Azerbaijan. You know what I'm saying?
You want to hear a true story?
Oh, well, go on. People just forget that whole part. The Middle East, Chechnya, right? All those areas, women do not have a lot of rights, and there's nothing they can do about it. And the craziest part is, even after World War II, Cord, help me out here, guys, in the chat. What percentage of men born from like 1919 to like 1929 were wiped out because of World War II in Russia? I think there was only like 30% of the men left, or whatever. I think there was, yeah.
Oh. There were
in Germany too.
That was all trench warfare, and it was just they were just cannon fodder.
No. But I mean, World War II wiped out so many Russian men that in Russia.
World War One. I'm sorry. Yeah, because the Battle of Stalingrad was fought primarily by women.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but what I'm saying is that they had snipers and everything running around. Yes, but there was still the majority of the Red Army. The Red Army was still fighting in
and they were brought down on the front by the Germans. Yes,
but there were still male troops that were doing the majority of the fighting. They had female snipers, yes, who were fighting. But you cannot tell me that there was like 50-50 men and women fighting in Stalingrad. My point is, even in Germany and in Russia, where the majority of the population for the first time in history was primarily women. I think in Germany it was like 40-60, I think. And in Russia it was 30-70, 30% men. The women still couldn't take over. The women still couldn't establish a matriarchy. Think about that for a second. 70% of the population could not take over the 30% because 30% were males. Cord, what were you saying?
So real life, I told you guys I was in the Navy, and during one deployment, we actually stopped over in South Korea for a few days, down Busan. And we're walking around at night, and there's a commotion going on down the street, and we happen to come walking by, and there were 3 or 4 South Korean cops, all guys, and they were manhandling a prostitute, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs. You know how you see these women on your 50 and 304 videos? Except one of the police officer had enough, and he gave her the palm of his hand with all the force in the world he could muster up right across her face. And it took her a few minutes to recover from that, and they just grabbed her and threw her ass in the back of the van. They had enough. So women here, that you see cops around the world, and there's a video that pops up in my YouTube feed every once in a while of some woman screaming at a Russian police officer, and then she has the audacity to smack him in the face, and he cleans her clock. So
yeah, I've seen them get wound up on a few times.
Yeah, women in the West who act like they're so mistreated.
We call that hitting the reset button.
Well, I've witnessed it firsthand, and it is not pretty.
But yeah, guys, it's crazy how many people don't understand this process, like this fundamental fact that men do not need women. We do not, guys, other than for reproduction. And that's, once again, guys, we talked about the artificial womb, right? Guys, these chicks are so scared because right now reproduction is the only thing that they actually have some kind of a monopoly over, right? You know, and that's why they're pushing for baby deletion, you know, and to be able to control that type of stuff. But guys, once the whole artificial womb thing starts, they're cooked, because then we really won't need them. We don't, because the Roman legions were out there marching for years away from any women at all. They didn't need women. There's soldiers out in the field for months and months and years. No women around. Men do not need women at all.
So speaking of the Roman armies, what they typically did was, let's say we were part of a legion and we marched, pick anywhere that's far away from Rome by thousands of miles, and you ended your career after 30 years out in the great wilds, wherever that outpost was that was pushing the boundaries of Rome. You got a big retirement, you married a local woman, and you settled down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, guys. Put it in the chat, guys.
But even the Romans, they didn't. They didn't need the
guys,
women for anything.
Honestly, and here's the thing. What's the number one thing that chicks who are strong and independent say is that I want a guy for companionship? Guys, we don't even need them for companionship. What good is having a woman as a companion? All she's gonna do is whine and moan and nitpick at your political views and talk all this mess, right? That's why, guys, other cultures in the third world, I've said this before, guys, put a 1 in the chat if you've been to a Mexican cookout, a Samoan cookout, a Korean cookout, a Vietnamese cookout, a Korg snowboard. Where are all the men?
They're usually sitting down
in the garage, in the backyard, smoking cigarettes, playing cards. And where are the women?
Cooking.
Are they anywhere near the men?
Nope.
Thank you very much. This whole men and women need to be friends thing and hang out. Guys, this is a new thing. This is new in the West for the last 50, 60 years. Even the expectation of a husband being his wife's friend? Are you serious?
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Prophet, provider, priest, protector, right? Nowhere in there is it best friend, ship's counselor. You know what I'm saying? Why? And guys, this is why these third world cultures and these traditional cultures work better. It's because people know what their roles are and they don't mix. Guys, say what you want about like Muslim countries and Islam and even the what are they
Saudis?
called? No, the Jewish people with the curly hair, with the little curls on their
Hasidic.
Yeah, men and women don't mix. The men pray separately than the women. The only boys and girls don't play together unless they're brother and sister or cousins. And then the women get married young, so then the only time that they're hanging out with other women is either their family members or other married women. Now, guys, that's how
do it too.
Yeah, that's how America was. Mainstream Protestant America was the same way, guys. If you think about, guys, my granddad didn't have any female friends. My dad didn't have any female friends. My mom didn't have any male friends. Women and men have always pretty much been separate, even when they would go to school together. Boys and girls had different gym class, right? They had different things that they would do because you don't want boys and girls kind of mixing. The moment that started happening is when things went to shit. So, guys, we'll actually start this video, and this dunderheaded, redheaded knucklehead, right? Has a prompt, says men need women. And guys, Follow me on TikTok, guys, because I want to be able to get enough followers to actually do TikTok lives. But I want to try and do TikTok invasions. I think that would be pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that
right?
would be cool.
I just need to figure out how he sets it up, because I don't want it to actually loop, because I tried it once and the sound was looping. So I'll figure it out, guys, and then what I can do is we can do TikTok invasions on people.
I've done that, just trolling people before. But
But
sometimes they
imagine-
have some people who have. Sometimes the people will actually kind of debate you, which is actually kind of cool.
But oftentimes they'll just
They
mute
usually
you.
don't. If
But
you just say
that's why
304, they boot you right away.
that's why it's good to have, like, it would be like all of us in the chat going over there and trolling them. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know what I mean? Because then they might kick me off, but then Snowboard jumps on there, and then Korg jumps on there, and then Laughing Man jumps on there, and then Rayshot jumps on there. It's hilarious, you know?
I had like a similar idea. What we could do is like one of these like female dating coaches or something that's not a lot of money. Like we can pay, like basically you can pay, or I will pay or something, and we record it. But we start asking like really stupid questions, or like we essentially ask loaded questions
Well,
to
the
them.
only issue about that is a lot of these coaches, once you sign up for their stuff, they usually have a legal thing about you sharing their stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get sued.
Yeah,
So.
they might not though. Some of them might not.
Yeah. But all right, guys, here we go.
For the W.
Now, guys, this is someone that clipped this, so the sound is a little bit off, but it's all good.
Did you just let someone up? Andrew Wilson?
Andrew Wilson, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Andrew Wilson. Who? Why do I have to let you up? Who are you?
I'm nobody from nowhere. But I do like the prompt, and I thought I would talk with you about it if you got a few minutes for me.
Oh, of course.
So why do men need women?
Is men need women. Now, guys, once again, I need anyone in this chat to let me know any reason why a man. Okay, let's stop and think about this. Man A is 19 to 29. Man B is 30 to 40, and man C is 40 to 50. Guys, why would man A, B, or C need a woman? Why? Korg, Snowboard, anything?
Reproduce or just for fun.
I'll hold my
pleasure.
breath. What'd you say, Snowboard?
Pleasure is a luxury. We don't actually really need it.
Yeah.
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 So besides reproducing,
Josh says to ruin his life.
yeah, run up debt, spend my money.
Did you discuss that episode of what was it? That Bear Grylls Men versus
Yeah.
Men?
Yep.
Yeah.
One second, guys. Okay, guys, we're almost at 18K, man. So make sure you are subscribed, guys. I appreciate that.
For things such as reproduction and for the continuation and prosperity of society.
What'd she say, guys? Continuation and prosperity of society? Prosperity,
Not prosperity.
huh?
What?
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
See how she had to sneak it in?
Yeah.
At the very end. And notice how she's like, she's already being very like sarcastic.
Yeah, disingenuous.
Yeah, it's like there's no reason for that. Tell us your ideas. Maybe you're right about something. So come into it with good faith.
This is how these TikTokers argue. You know what I'm saying? This is how they argue and discuss things, and it drives me absolutely up the wall, man. Guys, these new political TikTok people, they're just so stupid, and they all think that they're so smart.
Yeah, and if you make a good point that challenges them, they'll just like kick you from the room. That's happened to me a few times. I actually was like trying to ask like an honest question about a few things,
Yeah.
Like not even trying to like mess with them. And they just like it made them change the paradigm of how they thought about something.
Yeah. Mhm.
They just kick you from the room right away.
Yeah. Or they mute you.
Yeah.
I watched one of these with Andrew Wilson about a week or so ago. This guy could not understand the concept that two people can debate the same side of a topic but have opposing views.
Oh, you saw that? You saw that, right? Where the one guy wearing the hat was like Andrew Weasley Wilson, right? Yeah, he was. Okay, all right, guys. It was
the
moderator
was the.
He was the moderator. It was
explained to him. You guys can both argue against a position.
Yes,
and I said, no, that's impossible. You can't do that. We both
all right
argue against a position.
Guys, I'll give you a short synopsis, guys. So. Snowboard, he was saying Christian ethics is not better. So Christian ethics is better than the status quo secular ethics. Andrew says yes. The other guy's saying no. This guy thought that by him saying no, he wasn't saying a positive statement.
Right.
Andrew's saying you have to prove your side because you're saying it's not better. Andrew's saying it is better. This guy's saying it's not better. This guy's like, no, I don't have a burden of proof. He's like, you dumb bastard. Yes, you do. Now, if Andrew was arguing Christian ethics are best for society, then the other side can say, no, I don't believe that. And they don't have to prove because all they're saying is, I don't believe you. They're not saying it's not. They're just saying, prove it. When you say is better than, by Korg saying it is better than, he has to explain. And by me saying it's not better than, I have to explain. And even the moderator was like trying to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You guys remember, was it Sesame Street?
They broke
the bouncing ball.
The moderator broke it down to this kid to say, you both can say the sky isn't blue, and you both have to defend that point. And he was just losing it. Just couldn't
losing it. And he was, and he's a coward. He's a coward. He's Weasley Wilson. Da 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 da. That's like there was another one. Corey, did you see the one where the chick didn't know how the government worked, and the moderator's like sitting there as Andrew got up to take a piss, was trying to fill her in on how the government worked.
I don't know.
It was so hilarious. She was so horrifyingly ignorant, and she's trying to debate Andrew Wilson. It's like, why are you so stupid? So the only thing that I would debate Andrew Wilson on is marriage. That's the only thing that I think that because once again, he would have to prove why. I mean, he would have to pitch the case why any, especially Gen Z millennial man, would get married in this modern time, or anyone who's been divorced and got cooked, why they should get married again. And I guarantee he couldn't do it.
And especially to a single mom, because he married a single mom.
Here's the thing, guys. Andrew's not a red pill guy. So per his Christian ethics, he feels compelled.
Yeah, I was going to say he has to die on that hill because that's what he's committed to. So that's okay.
Per the logic, though, because he's a logical guy, he cannot logically make the case for why. This would be like saying, well, there was some case in Africa somewhere where a witch doctor made a guy's arm grow back. So you should stick your hand in a wood chipper. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not happening. You know? So, but anyways.
I mean, do you agree?
Korg, you're on Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If I can find that one clip where that one Sarah chick was walking that one chick through the government, like how the government works, because she's so stupid, I'll drop it in Discord for you because it was like one of the worst ass kickings I've ever seen in a debate, dude. It was bad.
Agree with me, or do you think that most women right this second can't reproduce?
Most women right this second cannot reproduce. No, I don't think that's the case.
Okay,
now, guys,
so then...
Now, guys, this is an excellent point. It's like I actually looked up the numbers, and do you guys know that the majority of women in the West are not child-rearing age?
Really?
Meaning that the majority of women are either 45 and up because of the boomers, or they're like 15 and below. So like the number of women that are like 18 to like 35, 30 is actually smaller than all the rest. So the majority of women, if classified medically, are not able to reproduce right now. Puts things into perspective, huh? So, guys, so I'm going to drop the link. Anyone who's come on up, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the super chat button. Thanks to all you guys that are hitting the Cash App. Thanks to all you new members, man. I appreciate that. And guys, please remember that the memberships, guys, you get custom emojis and all that other stuff. And guys, you will all the daytime lives, guys, the chats for everyone for about 10 minutes, and then they always go members only. So guys, make sure to hit the membership button. And guys, here's a StreamYard link. Anyone who's calling up, hit the button. Now, I do ask, guys, that you guys turn on your cameras first before you come on up so I can see who you are, and then I'll let you up. Yeah.
What ages do you think women can reproduce normally?
Or if you don't have a camera, drop a message in the Discord so that I know it's you.
Anyway.
That they can? Like can, not should, are capable of. Well, that would just be from puberty pause. So
well, not really, right? So like usually it's 20s and 30s is
Maestro says childless spinsters 40 plus should be banished to remote spinster communities to live out the rest of their lives. Facts, because women that get older cost the system more money.
Yeah.
Put a 1 if you guys agree, right? Guys, yeah, guys. Once we hit 100K subs, I will buy Steve a friggin' a B-Jibber 5000.
Special ordered from Japan.
A Thought Pocket 3000.
is the window. Once you get into the 40s, it basically starts to really dry up for most women, right?
So can is different than like should.
I didn't say should. I'm not talking about normative ethics. I'm not talking about normative ethics. I'm asking the word can as in can actually do it. So we're not discussing normative ethics here. So
yeah, see this smirking, this laughter. She already knows she's cooked because she's not even understanding what he's saying, like all the words he's using, you know. So
when you say can, so do you think that more women are, between the ages of I don't know, like 1 to 10, and then from 40 on, or more women who are in the reproductive range?
Sorry?
Do you think there's more women who are outside of that reproduction?
Red Door, of course you disagree. You shoot moose and bear. What are you talking about? Like, dude, Red Door, don't do this. All right, we're talking about women in general, guys. Do you know why Korea and Japan's going broke? It's because they have so many old women, guys. In general, as women get older, see men either die younger, or guys, you can't even get men to go to the doctor. Isn't the whole joke that men don't go to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
So guys, we don't have a lot of elder care costs. Even men that are busted up from working blue-collar jobs. You know what I'm saying? Men don't go to the doctor. We just keel over and die one day. But menopause, perimenopause, osteoporosis, hysterectomies, and all this stuff, as women get older, they cost the country more money. Oftentimes, men have the VA or other types of insurance that they carry over from their jobs or their pensions. Women just cost more as they get older. You know, period. So
range who are alive right now, meaning 1-year-old to 10, let's say prepubescent, and then let's say 40 years old on. Don't you think there's more of those women in totality than women who are in their reproductive years?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, then most women
Now,
can't.
one thing that I have to say about this video, this chick is at least, you know, willing to have the conversation. She's not being too bad. You know what I'm saying?
Reproduce. You see how that works?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay,
Actually,
great. So then if that's the case, you're saying that men don't need most women, right? Isn't that what you're actually saying? That men don't need most women? We only need women who are in their reproductive years?
Andrew, that is just addressing reproduction.
And that's another thing that I don't like. That whole someone saying your name. It's this passive aggressive thing. Andrew. He knows what the fuck his name is.
It's passive aggressive and condescending.
Kevin Samuels, he used to shut that down real fast. He's like, I know my name is Kevin. All right, stop saying that. It's this condescending, passive aggressive crap.
Oh, okay.
Well, college educated crap.
Well, let's just
Yep, that's true.
start with this one at a time. Well, men don't need most women for reproduction, right?
If we're doing the numbers, there's more women that are between the ages of 1 and 10 and 40 and older. Yeah.
So then most women
11 to 39. I don't know the math on that.
Yeah, well, we'll just assume it, but at least half, like, we don't need at least half of women for reproduction. We can at least say that.
Currently.
Okay.
You know, the women that, you know, are turn 11 and now are capable of reproduction would then enter that zone, right? So it's not like these people that you're taking out of the equation are going to be permanently not.
Yeah, but after they've reproduced, what do we need them for?
Well, like I said, continuation and prosperity of society. That includes, you know, the different industries that women are, you know, dominating. They're half of the workforce. But that, you know,
that wasn't always the case. And society prospered just fine when women weren't in the workforce. And there's kind of
society.
Yeah, it
I don't think
prospered fine.
society was prospering at the same rate.
Oh, so you mean that the Renaissance and the colonization of the entire world and building the atom bomb and radar and television, all that didn't happen when women supposedly didn't have rights like they have now? You absolute dunderhead. What are they talking about, guys? Why? You stupid woman.
That it is right now. And I'm referring to society right now.
I think it was. Like, for instance, if you look when women were out of the workforce, do you think that the United States did not still have the top GDP? Like, that would just be.
To other countries during that time,
Yeah.
I'm sure they did, but it doesn't mean that it was better GDP than right now.
Yeah. So, well, the thing is like, when you look at the gross domestic product, by the way, you also have to look at the incurrence of debt. And so when I look at whether or not men need women, your need here being the thing which is in question. You really, the only claim you can make is that they're necessary for reproduction. But even then, I have an issue there. Do you agree that with me that women?
Mir Flower says, do you think it's possible to make the U.S. an empire if the republic falls? So instead of president, we have an emperor who buys Canada. Mir, no, it's not possible. Our government is set up the way it is. Guys, we hyperbolically say, oh, Trump's a dictator. No, he's not. He's a president. Guys, think about how how insanely intelligent that the founding fathers were. Guys, the United States has been the most powerful power on planet Earth since the end of World War II. Okay? Yes, we had the USSR as our rivals, but they were a house of cards. The most powerful position in the United States is peacefully transferred to another person or even to the opposite party every 4 years. Okay? Guys, we have the greatest form of government ever is our United States system of government. It's not perfect, but show me something better. We don't need an emperor. We don't need any of that because once you have one person, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Now, we can take out the cartels if it becomes advantageous to the right people, you know. So in Canada can keep itself because it sucks up there. So
To be a woman, it takes more than just physical characteristics. You're not just your body. There's something more to you than that.
In order to be a woman,
There's something more to being a woman than just their body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then really we just need women's bodies. We don't even need women, right? For the purpose of reproduction.
Well, no, because that goes on. No, that goes into like the argument that I was making before about different industries that women dominate, but we haven't really.
They're not necessary, though. You could say that maybe it would hurt, or we wouldn't like it, or there would be a contraction, but need is the word here. They're not necessary for those industries, and we know that from a historic standard because men worked in all those industries, and we.
My show, the USA, is not a crumbling house of cards. Guys, have you forgot that we've been through a Great Depression, a civil war, like an actual civil war? Guys, we there's all this hyperbole of how bad the United States is. Oh yeah, guys, the United States has been through a lot worse. Okay, a lot worse, guys. Why I even get caught up in this and saying the United States is gonna crash? No, it's not, guys. We've been through a lot worse. Okay, a lot worse. We have more access to wealth and opportunity even now than ever before. Guys, think of this. What we talk about is crime in big cities that a lot of us aren't in. Wokes in cities that a lot of us aren't in, right? This transformer stuff that I'm not around. So, guys, life is pretty darn good. The United States is not
I can remember when New York City was horrible.
When it was
Times Square was riddled with nothing but pornography shops and peep shows, and
it was a death wish, like straight up death wish. Yeah, you know.
And then,
honestly,
you're not old enough to remember this, and I don't know if anybody in the chat is old enough to remember this, but there used to be a housing project in Chicago called Cabrini Green.
Yeah, Cabrini Greens.
You didn't go into Cabrini Green if you valued your life.
True. That's like the Magnolia projects in New Orleans, guys.
Right.
Everywhere, dude. You know, because if you drive around most of America right now, everyone's getting up, going to work. If you turn the news off, guys, I hate to say it, like everything is pretty awesome. You know, it really is. Especially us red pill guys. We're saving, investing, having our money game right. You know what I'm saying? We're just fine, guys. We will be just fine.
Prospered fine. You may not say we were as prosperous, but need is a mighty big word here.
Yeah,
that's saying it's necessary. How's it necessary when all we actually need is the bodies of some fertile women? We don't even need them to be conscious, in fact. Like we could just lobotomize them, right? And then make them pump out kids, couldn't we?
No, because like I said, I disagree with like the standpoint of the jobs, right? So obviously I'm not going to say that we are able to lobotomize women because I value them beyond reproduction.
I'm not saying, no, that's a normative ethical claim. We're talking in a hypothetical. We could do this. Right? Like
all men and just pump out sperm.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you could. I see that's the difference, right? Yeah. It's like I don't think you could lobotomize all men because if you lobotomized all men, industry would collapse. But if you lobotomized all women, I don't think it would. My evidence for this,
and women don't have the force to even like this is all just speculation. But guys, if Afghanistan set up camps to friggin' lobotomize all the chicks, guys, just. What are they going to do about it? But do you guys think that the women can do the same thing to the men? No, you know. Remixer John Carlo. I honestly believe that the major cause of LDHD TV increase, and especially Gen Z women, because right now, guys, Gen Z is like 34% or like 38% call themselves LDHD TV. The majority of which are women. Guys, the average Gen Z and millennial white chick or white person doesn't want to be part of the oppressive white majority, right? So, guys, they take on some random LDHD TV plus, pansexual, demisexual. They live as a heterosexual, but then they make up some terms so that they can wave the flag, so that they can other themselves from other white people, and then lecture you guys about just discrimination. That's all it is. You know, they don't want to act. They're not actually attracted to other genders or sexes, or want to chop off their pee-pee or whatever. All they want to do is not be considered a cisgendered hetero white person. So it's all crap.
Is the historic standard of when most women were out of the workforce, industry was fine. It was fine. You may not like the fact that the economy contracts, but need is a big word here. You haven't demonstrated we would need women for these jobs.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. So do you have any like historical evidence that men are necessary for society in terms of like jobs in different industries?
All of society, all of history, you absolute dunderhead, guys.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
They're actually having this conversation. Hey guys, I'm telling you, this is why. I see you, Snowboard. This is why, once again, guys, men need to mind their own business. Because once again, when someone takes something for granted, the only way that you fix that issue is you take that thing away from them. They take men for granted. The only way for them to appreciate us again is for us to leave them all alone. Guys, drop a like on the stream. I appreciate that, guys. Hit the like button, hit the super chat button, hit the join button, guys. Appreciate that.
Yes. I'm glad that you bring this up. So let's start with just bone density, muscle mass, and their characteristics of being able to repel things like the heat, internal body regulation. Women are unable to do this. That's why they don't enter into these construction jobs, because they overheat and die.
Unable.
Yes, they are actually unable physically. Yeah. Yes, there's studies on this. Would you like for me to show you them?
And guys, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, women just don't really like the cold. But then I actually looked. I'll try and find the study. Guys, women actually have a harder time regulating body heat. That's why they're always too cold, or they're too, that's why things are either too cold or they're too hot. Whereas men, we can make our body temperature match the environment. You know what I mean? That's why we can be out in the heat, out in the cold. You know what I'm saying? We're never cold in the office. We're just not.
On average, women are unable to do this. Yes, on average.
Do what? Repel heat? Physically incapable.
No, that's not what I said. I said on average, they're physically incapable of internal body regulation to the point where they can do most of these outdoor jobs without having serious, significant problems to them physically. Yes. That's correct.
Wait, where's can you give me the source for that?
I can, in fact, give you the source for that. You can find this. By the way, this is a feminist talking point. I don't even know why you would refute it. Why do you think women are always complaining about the air conditioning in the building? It's always so cold in the building for the woman. That's a big point of contention. But here.
I asked for the source.
Yeah.
I didn't refute.
This will be a female body regulation of temperature. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. So women perceive cold more intensely and they experience heat more intensely. They have trouble due to hormones with regulating body temperature, especially when they're postmenopausal. In fact, you can find hundreds.
Guys. Gender differences and thermoregulation. This is from NIH. Look at this, guys. So women differ from men in thermal responses to exogenous heat load and heat loss, as well as the endogenous heat load during exercise, because they have a larger ratio of body surface to body mass and greater fat content. Look at that. And it talks about hormones. Look at that, guys. But men can be women and women can be men. Duh. Please.
Yeah, men have thermoregulation. Women have thermoregulation.
Lockdown information, just a cursory Google search on your behalf will show this. Same thing when it comes to bone density. a big problem is bone density and muscle mass differences, which required for like some of those big
Remixer said hormones.
Yeah.
heavy construction tools. Just on average, women do not have the bone density nor muscle mass capable of even wielding such tools.
Here it comes, guys. Here it comes.
Oh, okay. What's like the necessary bone density for wielding? I don't know, like pulling a lever.
So, guys, she thinks that brute physical labor
Using
is
a
pulling a
jackhammer
lever.
is like pulling a lever. Yeah.
Demons, man. Maestro says, how do you make a hormone?
You don't pay her.
Oh, no, you don't pay her. Look at that, dude. That's hilarious.
Oh, really? That's what they do? They pull levers?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about like,
Do they pull levers or do they use jackhammers? And do they?
So-
Do they? Have you ever used a jackhammer?
different machinery.
Or a chainsaw. Or here,
Yeah.
guess what? You got to use a sledgehammer and demo a house, and then you got to clear the debris. It's
Oh,
crazy, dude.
I was thinking about working with the tar kettle and patching roads.
Oh, yeah. Or here,
roofing.
have you ever seen? Yeah, roofing. Yeah,
Oh, roofing sucks.
yeah, roofing sucks, man. Guys, when I was in college, a friend of mine, he's this big Hawaiian dude named Noah. And he was like, AJ, man, my roof leaks. Help me. What do I do? I was like, we can try and fix it. He's like, yeah, but dude, wouldn't you break it more? I mean, we'll give it a try. Never have a 6'5", like 340-pound Hawaiian dude get on his roof that's leaking.
Jeez.
Dude, he fell right through the
Oh, man.
Kadoosh! He landed on his couch. He had a sectional couch, thank God. And his wife looks at me and is like, this is not my fault! Oh, no.
There are things like cranes, and there are things like jackhammers, right? So, what is the necessary bone density required to hold a jackhammer?
That's a threshold fallacy. I don't need to know the exact density to know that on average women don't have it.
That's true.
And I don't need.
How are you supposed to know what they don't have if you don't know what the requirement
You want?
is?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Do you think that there's a specific lifting requirement for me to say on average that men can lift more? It's like, well, what is more? Is that an average 1 or 2 pounds? It's like it doesn't need to be regulated that way. It's not necessary. What is necessary is that you need to demonstrate the need factor. Why do men need women? Why do we actually need them in these industries? Why is that necessary for humanity to survive if we don't have women in these industries?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're jumping from point to point. So
No, that was the point, and you jumped off the point. But why are they needed?
why are women, well, like I said, different industries, right? I mean, if you want to get into like the biological differences between men and women, we could talk about how women on average are more nurturing than men when it comes to specific jobs like teaching, early education.
So what? That doesn't mean necessary.
There you go.
And our kids are dumber than ever.
You guys, isn't this crazy how once again, I want you guys to think of the word necessary. She's saying men need women. And guys, didn't we have this conversation that people think that like wants and needs, they get it mixed up because people think that a luxury lifestyle is a middle class lifestyle now, right? Guys, we didn't go on a lot of vacations when I was growing up. My family back until I was like 7 or 8, we only had one car, you know? Because having two cars, having the mom have a car and a dad have a car up until about 1980 something, that was a luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like going on vacations, a luxury. Going outside the country on vacation, a luxury. And now people are like, oh, these broads, I want to be a housewife and travel internationally 3 times a year and have my kids go to private school and blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? and everyone needs to have cell phones and brand new cars and blah, blah, blah.
That lifting 200 pounds is necessary to be in construction.
Okay, but you're saying that men need women. You're asking me now to refute whether or not women need men, which isn't even the prompt. Why do men need women if we could just lobotomize them, turn them into breeding factories? Why do we actually need them? What's the necessary component here?
There you go.
Yeah, so like I said, things like being more nurturing on average is necessary for the prosperity and continuation of society for industries such as nursing.
Prosperity? No, it's not.
I think that if we took that away, these industries would suffer to the point of
Okay,
detrimental effects.
Women didn't become nurses until World War One.
True.
Women didn't become secretaries until the 50s.
Yep.
A secretary
That was
was
a small
a
hat
man's
job.
position. What?
That was a male small hats job would be running the book.
No, it was just a man's job. Men, because it was considered a business position.
Yeah.
And the secretary was a very, very important position because, excuse me, you have to make sure that things are handled for the big boss.
Yeah. Yep. And then you also saw how, what was it? A Christmas Carol? Scrooge. Who's the main character?
Well, there was Bob Cratchit was the worker.
Cratchit was Scrooge's secretary.
Right.
You know, he was like the accountant. He would keep a schedule. He'd do all that other stuff. So
maybe I can concede that the effects could be detrimental, but that doesn't mean that they're necessary. You see that word need is like we have to or else.
Yeah, or else society will regress. So when I say
But
men
won't
need women
collapse.
for things such as the prosperity and continuation of society,
Please.
that means that we're not going to do things that would regress society because then society's not going to be the same.
Scott.
Word salad.
Of course she's reading the script. Of course she is. This is what these TikTokers do. And that's why the little punk Dean, that one blonde kid, who is trying to debate Charlie Kirk. Guys, he was caught debating Andrew Wilson, and his chat was feeding him answers and stats on his Discord during the debate. NF Smick Nuentes was debating him and crushing him by the way. And Dean straight up admitted that he was looking at his Discord and at his phone. You know, so
same one that we want now.
Says who?
Right?
Says who? Well, your version because you don't like regression. Like that's your standard, but who cares? You haven't demonstrated why it is that men need women. Hang on, listen. You haven't demonstrated why men need women. You just say that if it's the case that women move out of certain industries, that could hurt our economic prosperity. But that's not.
We actually might. Think about this, guys.
Might even do better.
yeah. If they were to get
more efficient
women out of the workplace, that would mean there's a bunch of men that they would have to train to be nurses. And guess what, guys? The nursing wage would go through the roof.
I don't remember which country it was. I think it was Norway, where all the women went on strike and nothing happened.
Iceland, and nothing happened.
Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland. Yeah. Look at this. Hold on.
If men did that, people would die.
Yep. Look at this.
Iceland joining an estimated 100,000 women in her country on a 24-hour strike demanding full gender equality. More than 100,000 people showing up at a rally in the capital.
No, guys, Iceland has 300,000 people. A third of the population took the day off and nothing happened. Yes. Iceland ranks number one on the most gender equal society on planet Earth. And they're still whining and moaning and complaining. They're demons, man. Demons.
Calling for the wage gap to be closed. According to statistics, Iceland, women on average earn 21% less than men. Today's walkout is the first such event since 1975, when 90% of women refused to work, clean, or look after their children, expressing their anger at discrimination in the workplace. The following year, Iceland passed a law guaranteeing equal rights regardless of gender.
Look at that, guys. Hold on.
Most parents.
I gotta get this.
Prime Minister of Iceland joining an
Yes, guys.
estimated 100,000 women in her country.
Nearly a quarter of Iceland's population went on strike.
Someone says, look, men on strike, society collapses. Women on strike, GDP increases. Someone says, I'm actually curious if they did a day without men, how things would look. Look at this.
This week, almost all of them women.
Women across Iceland have staged a 24-hour strike demanding gender equality.
Ég hyggst sjálf leggja niður störf til að sýna konum samstöðu.
That, by the way, is Iceland's prime minister, who also went on strike, and she took half her cabinet with her. All women.
Að þegar fólk spyr hver tilgangur með svona aðgerð, hann auðvitað að sýna fram á hversu miklu vinnuframlag kvenna skiptir í samfélaginu.
So let's take a peek at what a society that goes 24 hours without women looks like,
That's right.
what their demand is, and how the last time Iceland did this, their entire country changed.
Much of the capital city centre was closed to traffic for a rally held for women taking part in the strike.
Local police say they've never seen anything like it. The estimate, 70 to 100,000 people jammed into Iceland's capital, Reykjavik, for a rally.
I think this day is for all women in Iceland. It's about gender equality. We have been fighting for it for decades.
Fighting how? Fighting how? What a joke, guys. Isn't it funny how these, I'm a violent feminist. We fight. They sure do throw that fighting word around. But if they actually had to fight for anything, man, they would run. Are you kidding? Come on, man. What are you talking about?
That's like how I was saying the other, like, I stand with you. I stand in solidarity. It's like, what does that even mean? Like, okay, great. That sounds nice, but it's meaningless, really.
Yep, that's true.
Women's and empowerment, and also a clear message to the whole world that we need equality, we need justice, we need the freedoms.
Meanwhile, dotting storefronts across the rest of the city, signs like this. Lokad is Icelandic for closed.
It disrupted much of society, everything from schools to banks to public offices.
Shops, banks, and schools across the Nordic nation were shut or opened for shorter hours as female staff stayed home.
Especially affected education and health. The stat I've got from the Icelandic...
Nothing else. Not engineering, not construction, not any of that. Funny how that works.
All the
guys,
logistics
right?
work just fine.
Yep.
Union is that women make up the majority of teachers at every level, including 94% of kindergarten teachers. At the National University Hospital of Iceland, the biggest in the country, 80% of workers are women.
There was a reality check about how important women are to the workforce and to.
And it's going to be the 80-20. Yeah, it's going to be the 80-20 principle. That 20% of men is the surgeons and all like the real deal stuff.
All the work. Yeah.
Yeah. Hospitals are so famous for hiring. Hospitals get so much money. That they hire women, like, you know, they hire women a lot, but most of those doctors, important people are men.
They hire B-dubs, for Christ's sake. That's how you know they hire people they don't need.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. You know?
The basic services that we take for granted.
Now, emergency services were, you know, obviously
all men
running. But hospitals did reduce their loads for the day, and everything from schools to museums, libraries, and zoos were affected.
Stuff that don't matter.
How was the zoo affected?
Look at that.
Even homes, because the spirit of the day was that women should refuse unpaid work as well. So, cleaning, making dinner, laundry, preparing school lunches, childcare.
When women think about that, they think that taking care of their own children is labor.
Wow.
And that's how women in the West are cooked. Guys, they're demons. Demons, man. And this is why, guys, monk mode or passports, guys. This should be your only two options for right now.
Yeah. So wait a minute. If you're a single mom, you didn't make your kid to
No,
that day?
of
304?
course not.
Yeah.
They don't even do that,
Like, no.
anyway. You know what I'm saying? They left the little freaking bastard just chilling, you know? Come on.
But a
Enough
dad
to
can
work.
make a meal for one day. It's like,
Yep.
this is like, it's actually very petty what they're doing. If
Yep.
men did this, they would like, it's just
The country
ridiculous.
would die.
Yeah.
It
But
would die.
they should be happy to make a meal for their family, but they're
Well,
actually
no,
treating it like it's a
Of
big
course.
deal.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Because they're these guys. Put a 1 if you agree. We're dealing with the most selfish, self-centered, narcissistic, anti-life, anti-family, anti-common sense, anti-religion, dunderheaded, knuckleheaded, woke, quasi-educated, dogmatic, ignorant pieces of doofuses that we've ever dealt with, right? These women are the absolute worst, man.
At the heart of the protest is the fact that women today participate as much as men in the economy and
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
How you look at it. So Iceland is actually considered the most gender equal country
There you
in
go.
the world.
There you go.
The World Economic
still not
Forum
happy.
puts them at number 1 in their most recent
they're
global
still
gender
not
gap report.
happy.
4 of the top 5 are Nordic countries. The UK is ranked number 15. Canada is 30th. And the US is 43rd. But even more impressive than Iceland being number 1 is that it has been number 1 14 years in a row.
Look at that.
Its prime minister is a woman. Half her cabinet are women.
Look at
There's
that.
almost perfect parity in education level between men and women. Same goes for work opportunities in technical.
And this shows what we always say, guys. They don't want equality. They want special treatment. Put a 1, guys, if you agree that this feminism is a female domination movement. That's all it is. It's female supremacy. That's all it is. They want men to be the pack mules of society, and they want to sit around and eat bonbons and do nothing and have us men keep our mouths shut. You guys, they basically want Iceland to be a plantation where they sit in the house and all of the men work in the fields. That's the only way that they'll ever feel like everything's truly equal. Please.
Fields, men and women on par.
We have the same chance as the men.
You do.
Yeah, definitely.
You do feel that in your bones.
Yes,
you feel that.
in your bone. We grow up believing that. I mean, we don't even think about it.
So there are lots of reasons to think men and women in Iceland are very close to being on equal footing. But according to that same World Economic Forum report, where Iceland has seen a backslide for women is when it comes to money. In a nutshell,
the World
there's
Economic
still a wage
Forum
gap.
is like a bunch
The
of
difference
garbage.
in earnings between men and women, about 21% in favor of men.
What we say is, if we're going to be the global leaders in gender equality, then we should actually achieve it because it is possible.
So, hey, men, give us your money.
Yep.
You guys keep doing the hard jobs. And guys, Iceland has some hard jobs. It's cold. Search and rescue, construction. Imagine building houses and geothermal stuff in the Iceland winter. Hell, the Iceland fall is cold. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the strike organizers. She says there has been progress on closing the pay gap, but it's still there. And there's another darker side to inequality. She says that violence against women continues to be a national problem. An equality paradise should not have a 21% wage gap and 40% of women experiencing gender-based or sexual violence in their lifetime. One study from the University of Iceland suggested 1 in 4 women in that country have either been sexually assaulted or raped.
Guys,
Yeah,
that is so
right.
much
I don't
crap.
believe that.
If
Yeah, I
that
don't
was
believe
true,
that.
then they would be leaving that island in droves.
Yep.
Think about that, guys. This is the whole college theory too. 1 in 4 women. If that was the case, why would any father, any parents in their right mind send their daughter to any college? There was a 1 in 4 chance that she got SA'd. Think about that. Does that even logically track? Does that even make any sense?
And I guarantee the police log won't report that. As far as I'm concerned, if you don't report it, then it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But it's like, well, I don't really believe you because you didn't take responsibility for
the issue
reporting
is that SA. What does SA mean?
Yeah, it can mean anything.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
They're looping calling or a bad hookup where maybe a girl regretted it, or maybe a guy was drunk and fell and tripped and fell and accidentally bumped in it.
Yeah.
All that counts the same as
They'll say it's SA because you didn't choke them hard enough on the first date. That's how sick they are.
If the wrong guy asked them out,
yeah.
It's just ridiculous, guys. What a
dads having to suddenly cook for their kids resorted to basically the easiest thing to make possible. Schools. Dad, first country
because
in
we're
the
all
They're going to shame the dad.
Because we're all
world
invalids.
to elect a woman to the highest office as
And for all other
sounds absolutely crippling. Both in 1970. Well, it sounds absolutely crippling. Both in 1975 and in 2023. So the challenge ahead for the country.
This article is such bullshit.
Yeah. What did they say that the dads cooked that they were trying to shame them?
I don't know.
Like pasta or something?
Yeah.
Most
Someone
women
said
can't even
women-
cook an egg.
Yeah. Well, in Iceland, we're 25% less hours than men per week. Yep. And that's how it is here in the United States. Someone says men don't need days off. Guys, what a joke. What an absolute joke. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the super chat button. Thanks for the cash apps, guys. Appreciate that. Hit the join button. Thanks for that.
Demonstrating that we need you for anything.
Yeah, so I can restate what I've said a million times, which is men need women, right? Men collectively need women collectively for the continuation and prosperity of society. Society is something that men are a part of. So the continuation and prosperity of society obviously is not going to include regression of society.
Are you saying that society cannot progress under the model that I give you? It's impossible for society to progress under a model where women hang on. Let me finish the question. Are you saying it's impossible for society to in any way progress if it is the case that we lobotomized all the reproductive aged women, right? Used them as breeding factories, and then men just did all the work and ruled anything? It would be impossible for society to progress. Is that correct?
Okay, so before I answer that, what are you meaning by progression?
Whatever you technological innovation, society being able to make money, markets working, the fact that we still have industry and industries develop, but societal progression, the same thing that you mean.
Okay, yeah, so like continuing in like a positive manner.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's possible.
Demonstrate it. Demonstrate it logically.
Yeah, so women bring unique properties, characteristics, etc. to the table. And because they are a part of society already and because they are contributing in such a manner that is so positive, if you were to remove that, society would not be able to progress.
That's
so positive.
It's restating it, not demonstrating it.
Taking away an extremely impactful part of society, you're regressing it, and there's no way to bring that back once you lobotomize an entire...
Why couldn't society still continue to progress with just men, even without women being involved? Even if you regressed
It's true, because that's how it's been for thousands of years. Egypt did all of their inventions, right? Rome built aqueducts and all that other stuff, and there was no women involved. This is thousands of years ago, guys. We were just fine. Men do not need them. We don't need them, guys.
Yeah, them being there is often a bonus just to like make sandwiches and like do like mundane work, but they're not the ones with the creative ideas and trying things that they're just
Lord knows
they're just not.
that if you're Snowboardicus Maximus in ancient Rome and you're trying to invent some new technology, your wife is, you spend too much time at work.
Yeah.
You have to come home.
Hang on. Even if you regress all of society from the female standpoint, right? And you regressed all those jobs. Why couldn't society still progress and flourish under just men? Why is that impossible? You haven't demonstrated that at all.
I've demonstrated it, right?
How?
So,
No,
like
you
I
haven't.
said, we can both agree men and women are different, right? They have different strengths, different weaknesses, both unique, bring to the table.
Gee, deflection much, right?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you take away those strengths and those weaknesses that women provide, you are handicapping yourself to the point where society can no longer progress in a positive manner.
You just keep...
You've been had. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Stating that's not a demonstration. Like, here, I'll give you a demonstration. I'll give you a logical demonstration.
Now is one group of people. You're lacking diversity. Society's not going to be able
So
to
what? You
progress
don't need to
in
have
the-
diversity.
Yeah, because diversity really helps things out. Please, guys, explain to me how the Japanese, who are like the most, like who are the least diverse culture there is, guys, look at all the innovations that they've done on existing technology and creating something new. Where's their diversity? Yes. Oh yeah, and they still have a very patriarchal workforce too. You don't see a lot of chicks in these major corporations, you know?
To have a progressing society, that's insane. And not only that, let's point this out. Let's point this out. You just continuously restate that if we pulled back, if society regressed because you no longer had women's empathy in the workforce or something, all social progression of society would just halt. That's the part you haven't demonstrated. I have no reason to believe that men would be unable to make scientific discovery, make inventions, continuously make progress in markets, make progress when it came to all sorts of scientific pursuits. I have no reason at all. You've provided zero reason why I should believe that without women around, men could not do these things anymore. If women were just lobotomized.
Yeah, because I think men and women complement each other, like I said, with their positives and their negatives. I think that if you take away an entire group of people and you just leave a bunch of the same people in a group together, I think that there's going to be, especially with men, a lot of fighting, a lot of disputes, a lot of problems. And I think just putting men together in one big group is going to hinder the progress of society without another.
You've already done that.
Now you're saying a different thing. Before you said it's impossible for society to progress. Now you're just saying, it would hinder it. It's like, okay, so I want you to actually answer to what I asked you, which is this. Why should I believe that if women were completely lobotomized, looking at history and seeing how women had no rights anywhere and were basically looked at as property, but still somehow we had philosophy, science, economics, all sorts of social pursuits, all sorts of modernism, which came out of industrialization before women had a single right, right? Why should...
You guys, look, she knows she's cooked.
Yeah.
That's why she's reading the comments here. And guys, there's gonna come a time where chicks call into the show, right? Because I don't have the patience. You know what I mean?
Well, what will happen?
Guys, this is 304 hostile territory. Okay? I'm just letting you know, guys. If they come in good faith, fine. But guys, come on, I'll just boot you. What are you saying?
What will happen is they're like, say you get to like 25K people, and there's like 400 people in the room watching. There will be some that come in, but they're going to say everything that we want to hear and just kind of be like the token unicorn chick or something, if you will, just to get attention. So I don't think they're really going to believe it. They're just going to say like what she thinks we want to hear.
Yeah, but here's the difference, right? All you gotta do is trigger those chicks, especially the young ones and the B-dubs. All you gotta do is trigger them, and
yeah,
which we all know how to do. And then all of a sudden it's
I'm gonna tell you, bitch. You just say, Sarah, who's your favorite female inventor? You just wait.
Because guys, there are women out there who are traditional chicks, right? Who like don't get bothered by this stuff, right? And you can always tell. Because they look at these chicks, or they're friends from back in the day, or they're friends that they've okay. So like there's this chick that I work with, and she recently got married, and her husband's 6'9". He runs a car dealership. She got herself like a super Tyrone. She's like a light-skinned B-dub, right? And she's a nice chick, right? She got married to her husband. Her husband's a 6'9" former. He was a college basketball player who was pro over in Europe, but then he didn't quite make the NBA, But he makes a lot of money selling cars and doing finance stuff at this very, very prominent dealership. She cut off almost all of her friends except for the married ones, because all of her single friends were just talking mess and trying to ruin her relationship, So she knew what she had to do in order to actually be a good wife to her husband, and that's cut off all those toxic dunderheads, and things have been better ever since. So those are the types of chicks that actually look at like our content and realize that we're not just talking mess, that we're actually telling the truth,
I believe that if women were lobotomized, suddenly all progress in those domains would just halt because we don't have enough empathy no more. That's what I want an answer to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's beyond empathy, right? But yeah, like I said, and I think you also agree with me that there would be severe regression within society if we did this. I'm saying that
not necessarily.
And prevention, right? Things that hinder progress. I think that it would hinder it to an extent.
Well, there would be progression, meaning like, okay, we would have to find male nurses, and we would have to find men to actually teach the children.
Kindergarten,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyone can do that. It would just be it would be getting men for the position.
That's true, though. Anyone can do that. We can have like a fourth grader do that.
Yeah. You can have part of the Boy Scouts. Hey, part of your merit badge is to teach these little rugrats. Okay, mister. So
that society would not be able to progress.
That's not telling me anything, though. Why should I believe that science? Why would science stop? Why would science stop? Why would men stop suddenly going, oh, we're not going to do science anymore because we don't have chicks around to bang? Can you explain that to me?
So obviously that's not what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, why would science stop?
I don't think science would have the ability to continue if society crumbles.
Philosophy? Would philosophy continue?
Sure.
Okay, so...
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
And would academic pursuits continue? Would industry continue? Would all these things continue?
I don't think so.
Okay, why? Yeah, but you see how you just keep saying, "Oh, I'm incredulous," but you
incredulousness. I just doubt it. I doubt it. Well, why? Because I doubt it.
She's brainwashed.
Incredulousness is not an argument. So what are you saying?
I was saying she already has her mind made up. She can't see it another way.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you can't actually tell me the process in which you're incredulous. You think all these things would continue, but somehow all progress would just stop.
In other words, she's going to say
there's no demonstration
gyno out of a gynocentric society. She's like, it's going to come off its axis because that's what she really believes.
They've been taught. Guys, what's funny? Guys,
and that's how entitled they are.
Did you see the short that I did on that B-dub and the food stamps? Do you see that? I dropped it like a while ago. Like, guys, where is this? Hold on.
So many of them.
Guys. No, this is one that I dropped August 17th. Guys, it has 204,000 views.
Oh my
God.
Hey,
204,000 views. Court, what were you saying?
Rajai made a comment about some videos Manosphere Highlights Daily did, and I dropped them in the private chat.
Let me see if it's here. Hold on.
It's in the private chat.
My favorite channel, that one Highlight Talk Thought guy that talks about chicks that divorced their husband. He hasn't posted in like 2 months. Dude, wherever you are, man, please keep posting again. We need you, man. He's He's probably my favorite channel on YouTube. So,
Time for the reverse simulation. What if every woman on Earth just clocked out? No teachers, no nurses, no HR reps, no influencers, no moms. 30 days, no women. Would civilization freeze, or would it adapt?
Ain't that a man?
First things first, let's be real. Women dominate some fields. Healthcare, education, administration, they run the show. 91% of nurses, women. 76% of K-12 teachers, women. 96% of HR professionals, women. 83% of social workers, women. 85% of elementary school principals.
Everywhere where we're failing.
Healthcare workers, women. Almost 100% of Instagram skincare routines. Emotional labor. The planners, the post-it note warriors. They run the calendars, the check-ins, the "did you eat today?" texts. Take that away for 30 days. Get ready for chaos of a different kind. Day 1 to 3. The world doesn't explode. It just goes quiet. Hospitals don't fall. Not yet. But the care's gone. Nurses, NICU angels, pediatric pros vanished. These weren't assistants. They were the pulse. They reposition fragile bodies. Notice the slurred speech. That means stroke. Fix the IV before it infiltrates. Without them, medicine is there, but the healing missing. Doctors diagnose, but nurses deliver. And now, nobody's delivering. Meanwhile, the schools, not closed from illness, just empty. Teachers, 76% women, gone. Daycare, done. Pre-K, history. Your toddler is now your full-time coworker and snack manager. Over in the office, reality sets in. HR wasn't just compliance posters and birthday cards. Now it's payroll chaos. Zero onboarding. Conflicts with no one to mediate. Oh, and therapy? Gone. 70% of therapists were women, and most of their clients also women. Nearly 1 in 3. Now 0. Sure, technically the men could still book a session, but here's the real loss. The quiet net that caught the fall. School counselors, office mediators, nurses who notice when you're not okay. The emotional scaffolding, gone. Now
men can do all this stuff too.
I know. He's building.
You can do all that stuff.
Yeah, guys, he's building up to it. Okay, he's playing into it, guys. Trust me. All right.
Okay.
Emotional labor wasn't extra. It was the airbag, the stabilizer. And now the crash is quiet, but it's already happening. Day 3, society's still standing, but it's not running. It's leaking. Day 4 to 7. But here's where things get interesting. By day 4, men stop waiting and start building. They step into the roles left behind, not because they're trained, but because someone has to. 92% of active duty military are men. And when things break, that 92% kicks in. Combat medics replace bedside nurses. Corpsmen stitch wounds, run IVs, hold newborns with the same calm they carry into battle. Infantry, now substitute teachers, running classrooms with tactical precision. Logistics officers, suddenly kings of HR, payroll, and supply chain. Turns out, when you can launch troop movement in a war zone, scheduling field trips and managing PTO is light cardio. Turns out the guys who built cities and fought wars can also handle story time, payroll systems, and emotional breakdowns. Who knew? Adaptation isn't slow, it's wired in. When half the population disappears, the other half stops making excuses. By day 7, the machine's running again. Different hands, same output, maybe stronger. The Iceland experiment. Think this is all fantasy? Let me introduce you to Iceland. 1975. Women walked off the job. Every job. Factories froze. Schools shut down. Men had to bring their kids to work or not work at all. And in just 24 hours, the nation realized something terrifying. They built an entire system that assumed women would always be there. But here's the twist. It only lasted a day. Now imagine 30. Men adapted, took over. But the panic, very real, because no one saw the iceberg coming, even when it was their own wife. Almost 50 years later, they did it again. In 2023, nearly 90% of Icelandic women walked out to protest the same thing. Unpaid labor, invisible labor, unequal labor. The country slowed, men scrambled. Again, because even in the most gender-equal nation on earth, the system still leaned on women by default. But here's the kicker. The system leaned on women, but it didn't fall without them. Men stepped in, struggled, improvised, and made it work. It wasn't perfect, but adaptation didn't need permission, just necessity. So don't say it's unrealistic. It already happened, twice. We're just turning up the heat. The silent industry. Let's talk about the industry nobody talks about, but everybody uses. Sex work, OnlyFans, escorts, cam girls, gone, cold turkey. When women vanish from the workforce, it's not just nurses and teachers who disappear. It's also the cam model, the sugar baby, the emotional therapist disguised as a flirt. 80 to 90% of sex workers are women, and most of their clients, men. Sex work was never just about sex. It was connection, fantasy, validation for many men, especially lonely, isolated
Guys, AI game is on point, dude.
men. It was their only mirror, and now it's gone. Not paused, not replaced, gone. Men are stuck watching reruns of fantasies that no longer exist. That independent queen who hated men, turns out she was also your only form of emotional intimacy. Without synthetic intimacy, men confront the mirror. Some break, some rebuild. When women disappeared, so did the illusion. And for the first time in decades, men had to find out who they are without someone pretending to love them for $5 a minute. Fast forward to your office. No women, no awkward elevator ride.
Wouldn't this be paradise? For all you guys who work in an office, almost paradise. We're knocking on heaven's door. Right? Guys, to just work in an office of just dudes, you know?
No, that joke was inappropriate. It's quiet, productive, focused, also kind of weird. See, the post-Me Too world made one thing clear. Workplaces became legal minefields. Men withdrew. Meetings got colder. Collaboration got awkward. Now, that tension is gone, but so is the balance. Even the news feels off. The male anchor delivers the facts. Sharp, steady, professional. But without the counterbalance of a woman, it's all one tone, one face, and yeah, you feel the difference. The female voice. That
and you never hear the
"How dare you!"
Yeah, the facts aren't woke or
convenient,
or BLM or any of that foolishness.
Shift in tone, that contrast in delivery.
Roads will be a lot safer.
That's true.
Layer gone. Now there's no office drama, but there's also no contrast, no tonal shift, no complementary presence, just straight line execution, all gas, no counterweight.
That's good.
The vibe didn't vanish. It shifted. Less gut instinct, less nuance in the room, less of that unspoken something women bring, until it's not there. Day 30. The world kept spinning. Men adapted. Hospitals functioned. Schools reopened. Even therapy got bootlegged. And now the women come back.
We're back.
But the jobs they left already filled. The same men they once said couldn't multitask. And now the tension returns. The negotiations, the movements, equality 2.0, wage gap 3.0, and of course, the hashtags. You wanted the truth? Here it is. The system didn't collapse. It rebooted. 30 days without women didn't kill society, but it exposed its assumptions. It showed who really adapts, who really builds, and who everyone expects to just show up. Men didn't collapse, they recalibrated. And the moral? Respect is a two-way street. You don't get to call someone useless, then expect them to fix your future. Because when the real work starts, that bear you said you'd rather be with, yeah, he's not fixing the generator. Dismiss the builder and you'll miss the foundation. Modern comfort isn't magic. It's labor, it's loyalty from both sides. And if you think this was eye-opening, wait until you see what happens when men stop working for 30 days. That's not hypothetical.
Yeah, guys, look at that. Insane, man. Yeah.
AJ,
I saw it.
AJ,
Here, let's get.
I threw a third one in the private chat. It's one of my favorite scenes that shows how men know how to get things done.
Where are we here? Let's see. Okay, so this is copyright, so I can't show it.
Oh, okay.
Because yeah, any movie or any show, so if I show it any more than like 3 to 5 seconds of it, they'll take the stream down. So
Basically, it's the scene from Apollo 13 where they have to figure out how to make a round peg fit in a square hole.
I'll drop this in the Discord, man. Yeah.
Okay.
And people can check it out.
As to why, though? Just incredulity.
I already explained to you why I think it would stop, because you're taking away an entire section, an entire population that provided valuable things to society. And now you're just left with one group of people. There's no diversity within this group of people in terms of the differences between men and women. You're taking away very valuable members of two very important industries. And I think that in terms of education, which is an industry that's dominated by women, and healthcare, which very specifically nursing is
We're
dominated.
stupid and
Two
unhealthy.
industries have the power to impact all other industries to the point where society would not be able to progress.
Yeah, but no, it wouldn't. First of all, no, it wouldn't. Hell, if you took all women out of healthcare tomorrow, right? Why in the world would I believe for a second that doctors wouldn't still be doctoring? Right, that nurses' wages wouldn't heighten and increase in order to incentivize men to go into nursing. Why in the world would I believe for a second, if you took 50% of the necessary people for healthcare because they're lobotomized from doing bad habits, right, that suddenly these industries wouldn't actually soar?
Yeah.
Why is it that I should believe that all pursuits in all academic science, philosophy, everything else suddenly halt because women are lobotomized? You say, well, because there's not enough diversity. Well, like what? What are all the philosophical pursuits of women and the scientific pursuits of women? What diversity did we need for 2,000 years with the contributions of women for the progression of society? Can you explain that to me?
That's the diversity we needed to get to where we are today. I think it would be incredibly different if women didn't contribute in the meaningful ways that they did. I mean, if you enjoyed society 100 years ago, that's great, but I enjoy the society I'm in right now.
How do you know? That's a presentism fallacy. You don't even know that. You don't know that. You have no frame of reference for that.
I'm in right now.
Yeah.
The society.
If you were to map all technology that's currently available to you into the social dynamic of 100 years ago, you have no idea which society you would enjoy more. This is the theory of presentism based on a modernistic outlook of access to technology.
Yeah, this basically saying, looking back at, this is what the feminists do and all the LDHD TV academics, whatever the hell that means, where they're like, oh, well, Native Americans were all, bisexual because there was some tribe where there were two spirits and therefore they were transformers, or there was, there was some African tribe that was like where the women were in charge. So therefore all indigenous peoples, they always try and nitpick and cherry pick, to make history suit their stupid agenda. It's ridiculous.
Not necessarily when it comes.
I've even heard these dunderheads say that like gender itself, like the gender binaries are Eurocentric thing, and that all indigenous people, so Asians, Africans, the Mayas, the Incas had no concept of male and female. Please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
I don't know if anybody else here has studied a foreign language, but all the foreign languages and the ancient languages that I'm familiar with, they have 3 genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter when it comes to their words.
Yeah.
That's like in Spanish. Well, that's a Eurocentric language, but even then they can't do it drives the Hispanics nuts when these people are pushing that Latinx nonsense.
Yeah. or German has der, die, and das. You know,
right? Nominative, yeah, masculine, feminine, and neuter.
Yep. So.
Comes to rights and things like that between men and women. Liberals do this often. They conflate these two categories because they're silly. But I just want to point this out to you, that you have now a half a dozen times been completely unable to back up with any historic standard how progress stopped when women were second-class citizens. It didn't. Or how progress would stop if women were just basically fuck machines for men, and we did what we wanted with them, and we still continued all other processes in life. How exactly does that stop all progress? That's just insane.
I already explained to you how I think that would be the case. I don't know.
She hasn't explained anything. All she does is continues to retreat to say, well, we need to have this diversity.
And this is TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And this is TikTok. And this is why, guys, especially women, women scream, yell, guys. And TikTok is like the ultimate place to work. There's always some chick screaming, yelling, and then some white knight to come, hey, man, you gotta let her talk, please.
If you want me to say it a 12th time.
Yeah, but you just keep restating as though it's factual. Based on what? But like, what could you ever base this on? I have 2,000 years of history showing women as second-class property of men. And literally progress not only didn't stop, but it led to industrialization. It led to the field of science. It led to philosophy.
Right.
It led to all of these things, which were the massive technologies and innovations of men, even as women were.
Yeah. Her Discord or people in her private chat are trying to feed her stuff so that she doesn't get clowned.
Not able to be involved at all. Why should I believe that that stops? Because suddenly you guys are lobotomized and you're just baby making factories. That's crazy to me.
Society, like I said, society today is different than it was 100 years ago. I don't think that it's comparable to compare the technological process or like the innovations that we created 100 years ago versus the innovations that we require.
Here we go. Watch this.
Society today. I think
they were harder 100 years ago. They were way harder. What do you mean?
I think it's harder to progress today than it is 100 years ago.
What do you mean? How?
She thinks it's harder to invent stuff now than it was 100 years ago.
Wow.
Is that not the dumbest thing that you've ever heard? Guys, think about this. Let's think about this here. If Korg was a test pilot in World War II, he had to get into a plane that was built with guys using a compass, a slide rule, and notebooks for math. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to jump in that plane and take off. There was no calculators. There was no computers. There was no nothing. Guys, there wasn't even fucking ejection seats. If that plane went down, you were cooked.
People didn't know how to use a parachute because it didn't exist.
Well, they had parachutes.
Well, they had parachutes. Yeah. You just had to see if you could jump out onto the wing in time.
Yep. But here's the thing, guys. When they were building these massive ships, or these nuclear reactors, how do you think that they did the math back when they built these nuclear bombs and everything? They did the math by hand
on a chalkboard.
They had compasses and all kind. Just think about that for a second. Have you guys ever seen The Imitation Game?
Yep.
Where they actually built that computer like by hand to actually try and beat
solve Enigma.
They built that thing by hand. Absolutely insane, guys. Now we have AI. We have all types of stuff to help people invent things. Red Door. They say that there's some one tribe out there,
who they just happen to find.
Yeah. They're the whole thing is there was one tribe out in the middle of nowhere that said two-spirit. We all know it's BS, right? It's like, for instance, how can they say that that indigenous people didn't know gender. When I told you guys that there was an African tribe where the men speak one language and the women speak another. So they understand each other, but men speak language A and women speak language B. You know what I'm saying? And the boys are not allowed to learn the girls' language to speak. They can only speak the men's one, you know?
It's way harder. The workload that men had to do 100, 200, 300 years ago for societal progression was like hundreds of times harder. You know, they had to pound things with an anvil and a hammer in order to pound out swords and muskets and things like that. They didn't have electricity. They had none of these modern conveniences. It's like right now, men having progression in the sciences would be easier than it's ever been, ever in history.
3D print
Why
stuff.
would it be? Why would women be some necessary component to this?
No, I completely disagree with that. You think that progression's easier now? I think that.
Like we have microscopes and we have electricity and we have ways that we can look at germ theory and we have all sorts of things we never had.
You stupid woman.
And of course it's way easier now than it's ever been.
Yeah, so we have technology, right?
Yeah.
Just how 100 years ago we had
And that makes it easier. You stupid moron.
different kinds of technology to discover different things, right? So now we have better technology to discover things that would be just impossible 100 years ago.
Yeah, well,
right?
but that makes my point for me. And yes, discovery has become way easier for people, especially with the advent of things like electricity and cars. Just the vehicle makes scientific pursuits a million times easier. Just being able to drive from point A to point B without having to ride horse for 4 days makes scientific discovery easier. Almost every aspect of life is easier now.
How about if Korg makes a scientific discovery in Switzerland? I can jump on a plane and be there in less than a day.
Yes.
Instead of having to spend a year on a boat to get from New York to friggin' London or whatever, and then take a train or how many months, you know? And then by the time that I'm there, you know, it's just crazy. Steve says, I drive around Amish. I drive Amish around in the mighty Dodge Caravan. They keep joking that we have windows. I say, I drink and smoke, and then we all laugh. They don't care. Thanks for the $5, Steve.
Seriously, garlic croutons, dude.
Yeah, guys. 100 years ago, chicks freaking used rags when they were on the rag, or as the Jamaicans call it,
complex things. You're not reinventing the wheel again, right? You're curing cancer now, right? So
no, you're not just curing cancer. You're looking for other planets. You're discovering new philosophies. You're honing in on different forms of germs. You're mapping out genomes. You're studying taxonomy. You're doing all sorts of things, not just curing cancer.
Yeah, I know it's not just curing cancer.
Yeah, but you went for like the hardest thing you could think of to make your point, and it was a silly point.
I mean, I think it's still incredibly difficult to make it to Jupiter, but that's not.
Shame, insults, guilt, and the need.
Do you want to know something?
Right.
Do you want to know something that's been invented in the last, I would say, 30, 40 years that's really made a big difference in people's well-being? Anesthesia. I had to go, had an ear operation when I was about 7 years old, and they didn't have intravenous anesthesia back then. This was in the early 70s. It was gas, and I was heaving my guts out trying to expel that crap from my body, and it was one of the most miserable experiences of my life. And about 4 years ago, I had an implant put in because I had a tooth that was abscessing. And with the anesthesia that the oral surgeon gave me, I was out like a light. When I woke up, I was a little bit groggy, but within 3 hours, my head was pretty much clear. I could clearly think.
Are you sure he didn't give you Nova cocaine?
But that's one of the big improvements that we had within the last 30 years. And then I've seen us go from, my God, when I was a kid, you guys were just at the end of that generation of math teachers getting sassy with you, saying you won't
You'll
always
never have a
access to a
calculator in your pocket.
Yep.
Guess what, Mrs. Chuppick?
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
I remember my punk ass math teacher. And then we had another one, Mr. Jordan. He was an alcoholic. I'm trying to teach you goddamn kids this math. And then his gut was so big it would erase the chalkboard as he's writing.
But yeah, we've I never thought when I was younger, I viewed it as like we'd pretty much hit the cusp of things aren't going to evolve that much during my lifetime versus what my dad had seen when he was born in 1923 going forward. But yet just in the 50 years I've been around, it's changed tremendously.
Yeah.
And for a lot of the younger kids out there, it's going to be an even bigger boost.
Yeah. And I think that the issue with young people now, I would say millennials on, is that they forget these milestones.
Right.
They
really don't realize the milestones until enough time has passed.
Yeah, they don't realize like I was saying how people say is there anyone on the planet right now who's as famous as Michael Jackson? Guys, people don't realize how famous Michael Jackson it was.
Oh, for crying out loud! I remember when he purchased the Beatles catalog.
Yeah,
that was unheard of.
Guys, Michael Jackson. There was no internet. There's nothing. He is the most famous person that's ever lived.
Yep.
Guys, do you remember every time that there would be a new Michael Jackson video, everyone watched it? It was like there was no one in the streets. The whole world stopped.
Yeah.
Guys, his tours were so anywhere he went, people would just go nuts. Go nuts. It was insane. Everyone's like, oh, Elvis or Taylor Swift. No. The only reason why Taylor Swift's tour outsold Michael Jackson's is because she A, toured for longer, and then B, charges $7,000 per ticket. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Swift, guys, honestly, the rest of the world has no clue who Taylor Swift is.
Name a Taylor Swift song. I can't.
No, but I've
never listened to her.
Just that. If you play Beat It in friggin' Lesotho, Saudi Arabia, or friggin' Mongolia, kids are going to start moonwalking. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works.
And the Thriller album was the number one album, I think, for over, I want to say it was 14 months.
Yeah. And guys, if you honestly believe Michael Jackson diddled those
no,
kids, you are an idiot. Guys, Michael Jackson was too powerful because he owned like 40 or like 30 or like 40% of the music industry. Like he was so powerful. He owned so much of the, so many catalogs and all this other stuff that they had to take him out,
Yeah, Red Door Woman. I remember our first color TV. It was 1975. That sucker must have weighed 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Because it was a 27-inch.
And it had the wood around it?
No, because that was an RCA.
Yeah. But yeah, guys. So, yeah.
Something we could even fathom doing 100 years ago. But we have the technology now, but it's still incredibly difficult.
Oh, yeah. Guys, if you don't think that there was a coordinated effort to take Bill Cosby down, I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Guys, watch Judge Joe Brown.
He'll tell
you exactly why Bill Cosby should have never gone to jail, ever.
Well, probably comparably difficult, arguably more difficult than inventing the wheel. So
the wheel, we didn't invent the wheel 100 years ago. We're talking about a distinction technology of industrialization. I'm pointing out to you that scientific pursuits right now, and even if it was the case, let's just grant it, just for the sake of argument, that it was harder to make scientific or easier to make scientific discoveries 300 years ago than in
ancient youth. That kid and his family came out after the fact, after Michael Jackson died, and said that was BS. And guys, why did Shannon Sharp pay this broad $20 million? He settled. Guys, remember, this is a civil suit. There was no criminal charges. So the burden of proof and the burden of evidence in a civil suit is a lot lower than a criminal case. Oftentimes, people are so rich, they just want to make stuff go away. Michael Jackson wanted that whole trial to just stop. Guys, he was worth so much money. $25 million is nothing for him. Now, guys, then there are guys like Matt Ariza and Trevor Brower where they didn't settle. Matt Ariza, he didn't settle because he's going to sue that broad back. He's like, I'm going to drag her to court and make her life a living hell. People go, how can you do such a thing? Like, she cost him his reputation in an entire year. His rookie year, gone. So, guys, trust me. There are people who have 6, 7, 800, 900 million bucks who say, my lawyer, I need you to make this stop now. I don't want to go to court anymore. I don't want to be in the news anymore. I want this to be outside of the news cycle as fast as possible.
Yeah, you guys need to understand a majority of court cases are settled before they even go to trial.
Exactly. Yep. So, but yeah.
Trials cost money because
but not
attorneys
just that,
live
though.
off of billable hours.
Think of this. When they go to discovery,
Yes.
what else are they going to find that they can use against you? You never know. You know, Shannon Sharp probably has a lot crazier things in his closet than friggin' skeeting on an OnlyFans chick.
But discovery is a two-way street. So the other side may not want certain things to come out during discovery.
But that other side doesn't have as much to lose as someone like a Michael Jackson or Shannon Sharp.
Not all. But
your reputation matters more.
It'll definitely destroy the case if they find the right stuff.
But you know that the court of public opinion is going to be chomping at the bit for anything that they can use against you.
Yeah, but that's where Johnny Depp, thankfully was able to
he did the right. He did the right thing, man, and thank God he did that because guys, nothing torpedoed the whole M2 thing more than Johnny Depp, especially since AH was actually an M2 supporter and speaker, and everyone showed how much of a lying sack of trash he was,
is in modernity. That still has no answer for why it is that men need women, why it is that if they were all lobotomized and set in second-class status, that the society wouldn't continue to thrive, and men wouldn't socially still pursue all of these academic fields, and we wouldn't still continue to make progress. All that you say is, well, I'm just incredulous because something about empathy.
It's not just about empathy. I think you're being disingenuous. So, like I said, women and men are different. They have different strengths and weaknesses. Women bring extremely valuable things to the table. They've contributed very valuably to society. If you were to take that away, society.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
It would regress. And then we're talking about a society of only men participating, which has its own problems like interconflict, etc. Women are lobotomized.
Why do you think interconflict leaves? Because women are involved. That's insane.
It gets worse.
That's silly. Women can vote. So women right now are.
Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Let's check the likes. Where are we here? Guys, we have 80 likes. Appreciate that. Thanks so much.
There are 50% of the voting bloc in Western nations. They can vote to send men off to wars that they don't even have to go fight because they're not eligible for the draft. Why do you think that conflict is suddenly reduced because women are involved? That's not.
Oftentimes, dudes fight over chicks. Dudes will lie and go, "Oh yeah, he did this," and then there's always Captain Super Sim.
Here I come to save the day.
Clown world.
The case.
You don't think interpersonal relationships with the opposite sex that you're attracted to doesn't reduce things such as like interpersonal conflicts?
No, it creates interpersonal conflict. What do you mean?
No.
Like, are you saying
the opposite sex?
Yeah, yes. Interactions with the opposite sex tend to create interpersonal conflict. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think that
So
women are assisting men with things such as like
what she obviously doesn't understand, she's never worked in an
Life
office
in general?
place. Well, yeah, but a lot of guys, I know snowboard doesn't work in an office, but those of us who do, you always have to watch your P's and Q's because there's always some woman, you slip up and say something, she gets offended. But I've worked in offices where you've had certain women that they just let loose cussing up a storm. Nobody bats an eye at it. And or it's the oh, what did you do to make her angry? You know, because those simps come out of the woodwork, and it's always the guys have to walk on eggshells.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
reducing violence, etc. Right, with interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, against who though? Women, right? Right. So when you talk about violence reduction, isn't it really that the most amount of reduction that women want in violence from men is against women, right? But if we took that off the table, because now women are just lobotomized sex objects, why would we care about violence? Men love violence. They think it's great.
Yeah, just because men love violence doesn't mean it's beneficial to society and society is going to progress.
It doesn't mean
the lie detector determined that was a lie.
It's bad for society either. Boxing's great for society. UFC is great for society. Sports fighting's great for society. Organized sports great for society. Dueling, by the way, dueling. I would argue,
now, guys, this is the part that this is one of the smartest things that Andrew said. Guys, bring back dueling. Guys, can you imagine how much better society would be if we could duel people who are talking shit? People who were acting crazy, if you could just challenge them to a duel. Can you imagine how well-mannered people would be if you can challenge someone to a duel? You know what I mean? That's why people were actually respectful, because they used to have gunfights and sword fights and walk 10 paces, turn, and fire, you know? It's like, is me disrespecting this guy worth my life? You know?
Dueling.
Guys, put the word duel in the chat if you think that this would be a good idea.
It's good for society.
D-U-A-L.
Dueling is good for society.
Sure.
Yeah, D-U-E-O.
Okay.
Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong with the fact that if you have your honor slighted and you were to call a person out to a duel and one person died as a result of the duel, don't you think less people would be involved in slighting other people's honor? Don't you think that would make for a better society?
No.
Well, then I got to ask you, why was
That's because you're a woman. That's because you're a woman. Absolutely insane.
there's such a gentleman's code just a couple hundred years ago, where it was the case that male-on-male violence was so low inside of Western nations, especially among gentlemen, where they would call each other out to duels? It's because if you got slighted, you might run the risk of, dying, right?
I don't know much about the history of duels
or anything else.
Anything else. I do know that a progressive good society, at least in my eyes, is not one where you can just, you're working in the office and your coworker says that you're fat, and then you just challenge him to a duel and unalive him. I don't see how that could be.
That's actually why. Why don't you see that that's good? The idea here is, if you wanted to have a reduction in people doing honorific slights to you, if there was repercussions which could potentially cost them their lives or not, they could always turn the duel down. It just really hurts their honor, right? It just hurts their honor.
I think that could end up being a little bit of a slippery slope, don't you think? In terms of subjective ideas of what's an honor slight. What's stopping you from just pulling out a pew pew and shooting?
There's always an objective standard for what a slight of honor is. And men can pretty much, guys, that's contextual. But guys, meaning that it's objective per the setting you're in. right? So like in high school, a reason to fight would be different than a reason to fight a guy in college. A reason to fight a guy at a football game that's talking mess might be different than fighting a guy at a bar. You know what I'm saying? There's just different reasons. But men pretty much have a threshold for violence that's kind of that we have understanding at all times. If we're at a baseball game, people are drunk. People don't want to cause enough, you don't want to be the guy to ruin things. So you bump into a guy, oh, you spill his beer, sorry, dude, I'll buy you another one, right? But if the guy gets in your face, at a certain point, you are going to, basically knock his ass out, but most people just don't go looking for violence.
A guy that says that your pants don't look good today.
Yeah. So when you talk about, hang on, murder itself, the idea of murder itself is subjective, right? The idea of what that is, whether it's defensive or non-defensive or justified, even that is subjective. So you're just saying, well, honor would be subjective. It's like, so everything in your postmodernist progressive fan fiction of society is all subjective. Who cares? Why is that a problem?
Yeah, subjectivity when it comes to honor duels is important because it's a slippery slope to things just like unaliving people just because you felt like your honor was, I don't know, disrespected. Are you saying there's going to be some sort of like legality behind it?
Of course, there always was. There's certain ways in which duels. Sure, there's certain ways in which duels were to be conducted so that they were fair. They had to be witnessed, right? This type of thing. But slights to people's honor, well, that went down. Oh, hey, you're tired of fat shaming? You're tired of all this type of stuff? Guess what? I bet if people could call somebody else out for a duel, those things would greatly decrease. Greatly decrease. But not only that, leaving that alone.
You guys are there, right? Imagine if there was one goofy-looking transformer in town. And this person's tired of being misgendered and all this other stuff. But was the fastest draw in town. Do you think anyone would misgender that person? Because if you do, they can challenge you to a duel and you get shot. I'm just saying, you think that a progressive would be all about this.
For just a second, I just want to know this. Right? You would lose. But I just want to know this. You still have not. It's a joke. It was a joke, lady. I'm joking with you. You still have not actually. Just so you know, all that you said is this: I believe that there'd be such a regression in society that society would never socially recover from this. But you didn't actually make the case for why we needed women, because if it's the case that society would then begin to progress just in a different way, it sounds like you're just making a case that the society that you want just looks different, not that it even looks better.
No, I don't think that it would be a better society if women.
She's not even understanding anything he's saying, guys. And this is one of the things about watching Andrew Wilson. He's speaking plain, concise English. And these dunderheads, they're so used to this going to some woke school, going to some woke college, hanging out on TikTok, just dunderheaded way of interacting that he might as well be speaking Greek.
We're lobotomized, and I think that
not for women. It would be better society for them, right?
I'm not even looking at it like that. I'm just like looking at it from an outsider perspective. If I was just like a spirit looking in on this society, not even from the perspective as a woman, but I couldn't see how society would be better with just men.
Well, the argument actually is not whether or not society would be better. The argument is whether or not women are necessary for the progression of society. And the answer over and over again from you has basically been no, that if it were the case we lobotomized all women, that men would still be able to pursue all of these scientific things. We'd be able to reproduce this way, pursue all the same scientific pursuits, still pursue philosophy, still pursue technology. And you haven't demonstrated we would have a bar from any of those things. None. What would be the bar?
I've already demonstrated my thoughts. I've already explained to you how.
Yeah, what would be the bar? Just tell me in simple language, what would be the bar for men continuing to do all of those things, even with women lobotomized? What would be the bar? Why is it that they could not do that anymore?
Would regress to the point where we wouldn't even be thinking about those things, right? Society would regress to a point where we're not capable of focusing on things, right? The healthcare industry would be basically, I won't say destroyed, but regressed to the point of like dire straits.
More than it was in countries for like post-World Wars, where they had no hospitals, the whole things were destroyed. I mean, come on.
About society today, right? So society today, the way that today's society is structured, what society is used to, I don't know what would happen if we entered a world war today. I'm saying...
of course you don't. This is things us men think about all the time, guys. What would happen if there's another world war?
Here's something else I wanted to add. Sorry.
No. But what would happen if there was a depression? Hey, Korg, do you remember like a year ago when these chicks were like, ask your boyfriend how often you think of Rome?
Yeah.
Empire, and they were trying to make fun of us. What were you saying?
Well, this is something I hope the people in the chat and those who are watching this are picking up on. When you are debating somebody, you can't just say, you just can't speak in generalistic terms. You have to spell out your position and you have to provide supporting facts. She doesn't do any of that. She keeps retreating back to, I already said this, and then she keeps talking in circles. She never spells out specific examples as to how society would collapse. It's just based on her feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Once again,
she has not said a damn thing throughout this entire discussion.
Nope. Just I feel.
And you're being ridiculous.
Right. You're an ass. You're this. Yeah. You're that.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. Yep. It's true.
What we have right now, if women were to be lobotomized, it would be detrimental to the healthcare and education industry.
That's true. I can concede it would be detrimental.
And I think it would be to the point where society would regress.
That's what I need demonstrated. I need to the point that men could no longer pursue and fix all these problems, nor do academic pursuits towards progress. I can concede a minor point that you would have instant regression from your standard, but I can't concede the point that that would be necessary. It seems like you haven't actually told me why, even after this big regression happens, men can't go, oh, okay, well, we'll go ahead and fix those problems and we'll just continue to progress in science and philosophy and all these other different things like they do and have done for 2,000 years.
Look at that. She's cooked. She knows she's cooked, guys. See? She knows she can't dance around. She can't deflect anymore. She knows it's over.
I don't know. I just think I think it's opinion based. In my opinion, I don't think that it's possible to.
Meaning it's opinion based. Meaning I know that I'm full of shit, and I don't have anything to back it up. Look at that.
Eliminate.
And I just wasted a bunch of time.
Yeah. Yep. Guys, I'm telling you, Andrew has the patience of a saint. I don't know how he does it. I don't. Anyone who can sit and debate destiny as long as Andrew Wilson has, especially in person, and not wring his neck, I don't understand it, man. I don't.
Basically eliminate this.
I've watched one of his videos, and he just loves, what's the word I'm looking for? Beating puppies with a bat is basically the way he describes it.
Guys, it looks like, let me see, where the poll is ended. We got, do men need women? 72% of you said no. And we had 94 votes. 27% of you said yes. Interesting.
The entire second half of the population. And then just have like this cute little recovery period and then just keep going. I just don't
I guess if it's opinion based, I mean, but you have seen how it's possible. You yourself have conceded multiple times that it's not only would this happen, it's the most likely thing that happens.
Women are lobotomized.
Yeah, why? Well, yeah, I can show you societies where they're second-class citizens. Right this second, have no rights, no nothing. They might as well be lobotomized. Are you saying all scientific progress in those societies are gone? Because they're not.
Well, no, they're not basically lobotomized. They're still contributing to society, right?
Yeah, you can contribute to society if you're lobotomized. You can lift boxes and shit, I guess. You can lift boxes from point A to point B, right? What do you think these women in these countries are doing? Are they out working hard, laborious jobs? No, of course not. Of course not. So the thing is, it's like you wouldn't even need to necessarily lobotomize them. You just chain them up if you wanted to, right? Just chain them up. That's it, right? They're just there for reproduction only, like they do in half the world. And you're saying, how is it in all these other countries where they just chain women up? They're like, hey, you got no rights, no nothing. None of these.
He's right, guys. Right? You look at the Middle East. They have scientific innovation there, right? You know?
Scientific pursuits have been abandoned. None of the ideas of weaponry have been abandoned. None of the ideas of defense, philosophy, science, none of these things have been abandoned. You're just totally talking out of your ass.
Well, I don't think that it's entirely fair to say that these countries have like single-handedly done these progressions. I think that a lot of those countries that have women as second-class citizens rely heavily off of like first world countries like the US, et cetera, for their technology. But
well, okay, all you're doing there, you're not even making an argument. You're not even saying no, they've abandoned all those pursuits. You're just saying they have not only not abandoned those pursuits, but they've not abandoned them so much that they're stealing technology from other nations because that's how much they care about those pursuits.
Doing it themselves, right?
So they're still pursuing those things. So they're still pursuing those things then.
The society itself is not capable of producing it themselves.
What? Which society is not capable of producing any sort of technology by itself that's male-dominated with women who are second-class citizens? China? China? Is China not capable of technology?
Are women second-class citizens in China?
I think you better look.
That's iffy. They sure aren't having that great of a time over there. In cities, they are, but I mean, come on.
I'm thinking more like Iran or Afghanistan.
Wait, I'm sorry. You think that Iran has no such thing as scientific pursuits because women are second class? They were building a nuke and got bombed for it. Literally what they were doing was pursuing science, lady. That's what they got bombed for. What are you talking about?
I believe that they were actually.
But I mean, they were definitely building nuclear centrifuges for the purposes of nuclear energy. That's called a scientific pursuit. They had all their top science. The first thing we did was assassinate their what? Top scientists. Their top scientists, right? That's the first thing we did. Huh?
Where was their top scientist?
In Iran. That's who Israel assassinated. Very first thing they did was assassinate their top scientists working on.
He's cooked, guys. Now, a guy who got cooked this bad would have just said, you know what, Andrew, you're right. But guys, their ego just can't take it. Just can't, guys. She's gonna sit here and just say, and just like I said, shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. Guys, here to check this out. Look at this. You guys look.
And the receipt woman.
Driver charged and crash accused. She was already. Wait, driver charged and crash already accused in fatal hit and run. Guys, what do you think that this chick looks like? Anyone?
Beat up.
I mean, come on.
She's for snowboard.
Look.
He's now charged with causing the crash that injured.
Oh my God! What the heck is this? Oh my
Look
God!
at this, guys. Look at that.
He looks like
11
a clown.
people this week. We've also learned, and the receipt woman is now charged with causing the crash that injured 11 people this week. We've also learned the 20-year-old woman shouldn't have been driving in the first place. Stephanie Quirk explains why.
For me, it's still going on. It's just like December 6th just happened.
Tamara Carr says time has stood still since that day in December when her brother, 44-year-old Dwayne Carr, was hit by a driver in Racine and left for dead.
He's all I've ever had, especially on that side of the family. So just losing him, I don't have anything now.
It wasn't until late January when prosecutors...
Look at this broad right here. Demons, man. Look at that.
Streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got.
Prosecutors charged 20-year-old Shemaya Anderson in connection to the hit and run that killed her brother.
I'm just trying to live each day, but I really want some justice for my brother.
In February, court filings show Anderson was released on bond and ordered not to drive or commit any new crime.
Oh yeah, let's release a B-dub on bond. That's perfect strategy, right? Right, guys?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
While awaiting trial in that case. But on Wednesday, Racine County prosecutors say Anderson ignored those bond conditions when she got behind the wheel again.
Am I to understand that the underlying case is charges in which there was a death involved?
Friday, prosecutors charged Anderson with a total of 29 counts for a
Dang.
Wednesday crash
Oh
in
my
Racine that
God.
injured 11 people.
I cannot state strongly enough how shocked I was to read these allegations against a woman who was out on bond for a driving case causing a death.
Investigators say Anderson was also driving with 3 children in her SUV.
Oh my God.
Officer has some cakes, man. Look at the homegirl in the friggin' crimson
Was
van.
also driving with 3 children in her SUV at the time of the crash. The court commissioner set her bond at $500,000 Friday, limiting her chance to get out on bond again.
This cannot be stressed enough. This woman cannot drive a vehicle under any circumstances.
In Racine, Stephanie Quirk, Fox 6 News.
What a joke, right? Right, guys? Do you guys think that that they would let a guy get out on bond?
No.
Look at that. Anyways, guys.
Police pull over a car for busting.
Let's just do this, guys. Let's just do this real quick. Guys, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that. You know, come on.
That's the sound of the police.
And guys, once again, guys, men don't need women. We don't. Just practically, we don't need women to survive. I know that might sting for some women to hear, but there's men in war zones, there's men on ships, there's men working in freaking oil rigs and stuff who don't see women for long periods of time, and they're just fine. They're just fine. Okay, here we go.
Taillights and discover much more after the driver refuses to get out.
Have we seen this?
Y'all did
This one?
it doesn't roll down.
I think that we might have seen this one.
Don't even roll down. Let me out the car. No, you're not getting out of the car. This is a traffic stop. You ain't going anywhere. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure you know.
Yeah,
Roll down
that's
this need to step out of the car.
Sorry, guys.
Roll down your window. Roll down your window. Thank you.
I'm getting my license now.
You live here?
Yes, I'm coming home to get my cousin.
Hey, Brian. This is our 1017 from yesterday that ran.
Who ran? What ran? This is my car. Who ran? Who ran where? Who ran where? Let me out the car.
No, you're not getting out of the car. This is a traffic stop. You ain't going anywhere.
Oh,
okay.
ran.
Just making sure you know. Roll down this window, please.
It don't go down anymore.
Okay.
Who ran?
Whose vehicle
though?
is this?
It's mine, my mom's.
Can you roll down that window, please, and shut off your music?
Wait, what do you mean ran? That window don't let down.
Can you, none of the windows go down
No,
now all of a
this-
sudden?
That
Okay, that
go down.
window right there, the passenger side window, can you please put it down? Because my partner's on that side right now, and he's trying to speak with you. The front window. I'm not talking to you right
the
now,
front
man.
window don't let down. That's the one that don't let down.
Okay. Do you have your driver's license, registration, and insurance?
Where your registration at?
3 dispatch. Another unit over here is 94. You're 1074. What are you looking for?
They just asking for registration.
Okay.
This the insurance.
Whose vehicle is this?
Come on.
It's your vehicle?
No, it's my mom. It's mine. Yeah, I paid for it.
Okay.
Here you go. Away.
Who's it registered to?
My mother.
Okay.
That's pretty.
So that window right there doesn't roll down at all, you're telling me?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Who lives here?
I said my cousin.
Your cousin lives here?
Yes.
What's your cousin's name?
Barbara.
Barbara?
Bubba.
Bubba?
Mm-hmm.
Bubba
Fat
what?
boy on the bike. He always ride a bike.
What address are you at right now?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know everybody's address?
I'm just asking. What
My
address
grandma
are you at
stay
right now?
right there. That's 15. Did you need this?
Yep, whatever paperwork you have, I'll take.
I don't even want to open the apartment. I can, but
You just went through a driver's license right there.
All right, guys, this one's taking too long. What? Guys, how are you going to act up in a subway? Here we go.
On July 15th, 2021, officers were dispatched in response to reports of an unruly woman.
Hey, guys, guess which one it is? I mean, come on, right? We don't. Here we go.
You gonna pay for those? Or not?
Darkness, space, love, and wisdom. Get out of my face.
Uh-oh.
What the f*** are you on the face of the face?
I just need your name and date of birth.
Give me no way out. But the whole world.
These people just want some sandwiches, dude. You know? Come on.
Gonna blow this shit up. That World Trade Center never ever be alive.
She's barefoot.
Your dumb, deceitful ways. Get the f*** out of my face. Charles. You better stop loving me. Get out of my mommy. I don't want you.
Oh my god.
It's time!
Must be like George Floyd's sister or something.
I don't know, dude. Crack is whack, right?
Woman up. What the f*** you think this power is for? Stop resisting. Get the f*** out. Your whole life is f***ed up now.
So that's you.
But the camera just fall off when she hit it.
Yeah.
Bad design. I guess they're made to take off so they can set them somewhere.
What a mess.
Someone had a day pass from the ward.
Yeah, and guys, here's the thing.
No supervision.
You used to never see crazy people on the street until the 80s. And then once again, there was one documentary on one crazy, asylum that might have had some bad conditions, and they closed them all down, and now these dunderheads are in the streets, you know?
It's wrong with your head. These people know that you are the nigga ultimately fucking serious, nigga.
What a mess.
Man, stop hurting a woman, man.
Yeah, can you put jalapenos on my sandwich, please? That's someone else's hand right now.
You never not to have love in your heart.
Jesus.
What you doing to me, though? I ain't did nothing to people. Darkness is here. Darkness is here. Give Jessica the angel.
What is going on with this chick, dude?
A lot of multiple personality things going on.
I think so, man.
Man,
I have one black people, 1095. 2 for I'm gonna need you on scene, please, of course.
no way. No ass had no way at access. And
Right.
knife. And you still want to
That's
hurt a woman for nothing that she never.
All I needed was your name and
Shut up. Even this crazy broad's gonna pull the you're hitting a woman card, please. Come on, man. Hold on, guys. Give me
I'm
one
sure it got
second.
worse in the 80s, but people didn't put up with this kind of thing. Like, I remember the place I lived, there'd be the town slow guy or whatever that would be wandering around. You'd be like, oh, he's harmless.
town
But then there'd be
slow
like,
guy.
if they saw somebody like this wandering around, talking to the stars and screaming to themselves and stuff, they
Yeah.
would have been like, hell no.
Yeah.
And something would have got done. But now it's just like, oh no, we got to put up with everything.
There you go, guys. Look at this. Nice.
I want you at the podium. What exactly are you wearing?
I'm sorry.
You have a swimsuit on to me.
No, it's not a swimsuit, and I did not know this was a court date.
What?
Look at what this beat up's wearing in court.
Oh
She didn't know
my
she'd be on
God.
TV.
Court, guys.
I just told the lady back there that I'm not dressed properly for court at all.
Really? Yes, you are not. 100%. That's very insulting to me that you would come into my courtroom dressed like that.
I apologize. I had no idea it was in as a visit and not a court date. So I was unaware that this was a court date. Because she wrote on the back of the car a visit. So it was
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
never said that this was
Either way, you want to be dressed the proper way when you're in a courtroom, Dunder.
Yeah.
All right, this is case number 23CR405.
Guys, watch this.
I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna really put you down.
How?
Yo. Caminar.
What does that mean?
It means run, bitch. That's what that means. Walk.
What?
It means walk.
I'm sorry.
And how many more
I'm not
times do I have to
understanding.
say that calmly? And I'm gonna give you to the count of 3. 1. Caminar. 2. Caminar. 3. Caminar. Before I put my fucking hands on you, you don't. I promise you, you don't want to see what I have under my mouth. I'm dead ass.
I would like
What?
Imagine if this was Russia.
Yeah.
Or Saudi
You would get
Arabia.
slapped across
Guys,
the face.
they would hit the reset button.
I'd walk on you.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, dude.
Look at the entitlement of her,
I'm
though.
gonna give you 3 seconds.
She's gonna
You
put
already
him in the
gave her
ground.
3 seconds. You already didn't you already give him 3 seconds?
1.
What if I put myself on the ground first?
That's 2.
What do you want?
I'm gonna fucking hurt you. I'm gonna fucking hurt you.
I need what you
have
need.
3 seconds. I'm gonna put you on the ground. If you don't walk away.
Rose works in a classroom. I
I'm
don't know why it doesn't work on the
really
street.
put you down.
How?
Walk away! Get away!
Yeah.
I want you.
Yeah?
Oh, really? I gave you 3 seconds. Why are you telling him to walk? What did he do? Waiting for his Uber.
Yeah, leave him alone.
I don't know her.
Look at all these dumb hoes.
This chick's hot. I'd smash.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, they're like, he's just waiting for his Uber. What is your problem?
You sure you don't know her?
Yeah, because we don't know her. She didn't come here with someone.
You sure?
No, she just had to fight him for no reason. No, we don't know her.
No, you guys are good. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's just waiting for his Uber and this broad. So, but all right,
I
guys,
thought it was a cop.
I'm gonna start this bad.
I'm like, whoa, there's a restraint.
Steve, thanks for handing out a membership, man. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. And yeah, guys, we'll be live, probably daytime live tomorrow. But what did I say? Sunday's live was going to be. Who the worst politician of the last 20 years was? Let's do that, guys. Let me write that down. Because I think Tiffany Henyard is.
I've never even heard of her, to be honest.
Oh, dude, check her out, the super mayor, right? She's the absolute worst. The absolute worst. So, but all right, guys, let's shut this bad boy down. I appreciate you guys. Korg, Snowboard, TMX, thanks guys for calling in. Bye, guys.
Sure. Yeah.
See ya.